Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing? How are you all doing? Yeah, you gotta love issues, Catherine. They're a fucking joke. They are a fucking joke, but that would be me. That would be standard. It was these now. For some reason, my PC's not picking up the other headphones. So I had to switch to my work ones, but it means I need to get different headphones. Great. So that'll be Saturday because we've got red weather warnings here, which is absolutely hilarious. 75 mph winds tomorrow. So if you want to get blown about, come to Scotland or come to the UK. You'll get blown about. I do have a variety of stuff to get through. If anyone would like to join me this evening, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. I don't mind. There's certainly a big scale of things. Obviously, I was out the game yesterday. I had to postpone the stream. That's because we were trying to fix the PC after we upgraded it. There were some issues with it, but it's working today. I do have in the background my Scottish side versus Manchester United, who is obviously my main team. I've got that in the background, so I'll be watching that. This is what happens when you live on the water and your country is surrounded by water. Well, I'm quite lucky that I live in a hellhole surrounded by beautiful scenery. But that's what you get. How are we all, though? How is everybody? Like, get your comments in, join the stream, like, share, and subscribe. And we're not essentially going to pick up where we left off yesterday, but we are going to review both shows. Now, I know I've missed a little bit. I've missed some fun and games. I've missed you guys, so I only got 11 minutes last night. And for those 11 minutes, I was quite brutal, wasn't I? I was quite brutal, and I think it was purely because I was being honest. Now, from what I remember, we were reviewing Raw. We're going to review Dynamite too, so we're going to do both. Don't worry, don't worry. Some nitpicks about that as well, just to tell you all the truth, because I don't lie where it matters. Well, little white lies are completely acceptable. Drop the link and I'll join you. Yeah, sure, if you want. I don't mind. I'm just going to tell you now. I don't personally think one show was better than the other. I did think one show flowed better than the other, but that was the main difference. And that's the key thing. That's the honest factor. I was quite surprised as well about Raw. I mean, the last thing I remember saying about Raw was Jey Uso discussing the fact that he's main evented at WrestleMania. He's going to win the World Championship. Is he buggery? And so forth. We discussed the fact that Raw dropped 2.2 million views. That happens. Again, I don't believe in the bullshit of the latter of it. What's up, James? How are you, my fella? It's 15 minutes in. It's still 0-0, but both sides are actually giving each other a good game. How are you doing, my man? How's things been over on the blue side, the Merseyside? Some aspects of this show was significantly impressive. The guy, how are you, fella? How are you? First of all, let's make the reality suffice the content that we're actually going to get here. Okay? Let's get the fact of the matter is this. Just making sure that United aren't making any mistakes. Good job, Onana's not in goal. I'm proud. Okay. So Raw has its classic opening shows. Oh, please tell me you're not joking. Oh my Christ. Please tell me you're joking. No transfers that we need, but don't ask me why. But Charlie Adams are fuck me. As far as I'm aware as well, and correct me if I'm wrong, I've seen this, but you're trying to steal Igaman from Rangers as well. You thieving bastards. I'm going to tell you all straight away now before anyone comes at me for being biased or unbiased. Neither of these shows were better than the other. I'm telling you now. Before anyone tells you any differently, I'm telling you as it is. So there's the truth. These shows weren't better than the other. They were different. One of them flowed better, but that's it. But Raw has some positives. It actually does. People may tell you otherwise, but there are some positives to Raw. Then you get the alright thing, which I said. I'm sick of the hypocrites, but I'll tear into them. But Catherine, how's things? I can't hear you. I wonder if that's my fault. I couldn't hear you. Why is that? Is that my sound? Try to say something, Catherine. No, I can't hear you. You might need to check your sound settings. Strange. Raw getting very mixed bag. You guys can hear me, but can you guys hear Catherine speak? Because I can't hear Catherine. I'm just being honest. Not setting up for failure here. That's Fulham's job. That's everything else. This is not just me that has the issues. That's a bonus. Yeah, James says he can't hear you either. Rangers have had more attempts currently than Man United. See, this thing. I like both. I support both teams, but this is a hard thing. And I like seeing both teams come at each other as head to head. I don't know. To be fair, I did mention. I think she'll be on for Saturday when we do the. Well, I'm going to let her preview it. On Saturday, we're going to talk Saturday night's main event. I've been asking her to appear. I think she's working as well. I think she is working. I do need to get better headphones though, so I'll certainly sort that. Let's see, can I find something that works? Yes. Okay, let's see if we can hear her this time.
Hello?
Camera. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. I had to replug my stuff up.
Just hates you. Standard procedure.
It's Thursday. It's my Monday, so.
That makes sense. I'm actually just having quick looks on Amazon to see if I can find any USB headphones that are good for gaming, but also for the PC. So I'm just trying to have a look. But I'll sort that afterwards. How are you? How you been?
I'm good. Freezing because it's like 20 some degrees where I'm at, and it's normally not this cold.
I wish I knew any better because that's not what I get. I normally get the closest I get to 20 degrees is 1 degree. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be very specific. We are going to review Raw. We are then going to review Dynamite. Hopefully, Saturday we can get Ailey on, and then more than two people can have a crack at it, and we can have a laugh.
Oh, my favorite. I have missed her.
So have I. So have I. I did message her the other day about it, so I'm hoping that she'll be around. This is a good thing about having 3 months. It took us like a couple of days to get the bloody PC living and cooking and happy days. But long story short, what did you think of Raw? Actually, before you answer that other question, second question, did you find any positives from the show? Any at all?
From Raw?
Mm-hmm. I managed to find 2.
Off the top of my head, I can think of one, and that's the presentation they give Penta. I still like the presentation.
Yeah, that seems to be relatively consistent. And its
Other than
strength.
that, I really can't think of anything.
Mm. It is mad how good it is, though. Like, it shouldn't be as. It realistically shouldn't be as good as that. I think that's
That's
something that's quite telling.
well, I mean, WWE always does good with their presentation and their video packages.
Mm. That is true. That is true.
But if you're the industry standard, shouldn't you be good at in-ring wrestling and promos also?
You are supposed to be. You are certainly supposed to be. If not, then questions are certainly going to be asked. But, well, we can all say that again, can't we? I'm trying to think as well what I found. So, that was one of the positives for me. And to be honest, the other one, again, he just seems to understand now. I don't know what it is. He seems to understand. The other one for me seems to be Kevin Owens. I don't know how, but he seems to be understanding a bit better. I think Rhea Ripley going berserk. Actually, not 3 positives because Rhea Ripley going berserk is absolutely brilliant. But I do have some
Yeah, but then
mitigating issues.
again, there's really nobody on the roster that's on her level. So
That's because the one that's on her level is on SmackDown. Sorry, Bianca Belair fans, it's not you. It's Chelsea Green. Once they figure that out, then we can have conversations, but they never will.
oh, they're never gonna let that happen.
No, they're too afraid. They are far too afraid to do that. I found some parts of Raw absolutely pointless, though, which is standard. For one, he was advertised. Actually, 2 people were advertised for this show. Only one of them appeared. What happened to Lyra Valkyria?
That's a good question because I don't know if they were supposed to give her an in-ring segment, but instead they gave us like a video package of her winning the title. So I guess that's their determination. We got her on the show.
Which is embarrassing. But nobody's going to really say much, are they? Well,
Well, no.
except those actually see the issue. But it is quite telling that people are going to point score people's title reigns very short on. But this is actually quite a negative when you can't even have her on the show.
And she just won the title that you need to establish some legacy to.
Yeah, and the only one that seems to be being established is the opposite side, the the US title. It seems to be the only one. Just making sure. That's fine. Braun
Well,
Breaker.
I think that is because Chelsea Green is making that one over on
Yeah,
her own.
and that's something that Lyra Valkyria can't do. I don't
She has
think
no
she's
charisma. She's boring in the ring.
in general. Like she's got the personality of a wet blanket. It's actually quite laughable. Like in terms of issues that she has, I don't think she's capable of getting this championship over. I think she would have been better suited just being a chaser. The second person as well, and we'll get to the whole match that he called, but I want to get everyone else's opinion as well in the chat. I don't understand the reason for GBL on commentary when he actually did nothing. The guy's been around promotion to promotion, country to country, and he is hitting people with clotheslines left, right, and center. But WWE, he's sitting on comms. Like, I don't understand that at all. Was there anything that came out after Raw that I might have missed why he was just sitting there on his arse talking?
Not that I can remember.
Because I don't understand
The
it.
only thing I can think of is they wanted to continue with JBL since he showed up at TNA and just try to feed it into WWE.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my only thing thinking why he showed up.
I agree with James. It was a complete waste of time. It made no sense.
Exactly.
Complete waste of time. Raw did start quite fiery, though. Although we do need to ask these questions as well, but that's the whole point. Okay, that's a question. What would be your Mount Rushmore of screw-ups in wrestling history? Mine would be Jake Roberts, Jeff Hardy, Velveteen Dream, Del Rio. Jake the Snake Roberts had his problems, but I wouldn't consider him a screw-up. The continuousness, at least I think the reality is that Jake the Snake Roberts actually willingly did something to try and get help and resolve himself, and he's now back in a clean bill of health and he's thriving again. I think Jake Roberts being on a Mount Rushmore of that level is maybe a bit too harsh. Again, it's your opinion. Jeff Hardy, I would agree with. I mean, despite being a fan of his growing up, I absolutely agree. Velveteen Dream, massive. Del Rio, massive. I would replace Jake Roberts with either. I would replace Jake Roberts more so with someone else that's actually fit and more fitting of the term screw up. So I would say either Marty Scurll or I would say Michael Elgin or I would honestly say Jimmy Snuka. I think they're far more of a screw up than Jake Roberts personally, because Jake Roberts actually went and got help, and you can see it. Like he looks well, and I think that's your opinion. I agree with the other two 100%. Sorry, other three. Sorry, like Jeff Hardy. I think it's hard to leave him out. Del Rio is more than just a screw up. He's an absolute woman beater. Like somebody needs to chain him like to a fence and just let every single woman he's ever harmed to just kick him in the balls repeatedly. But that's what I would do. Yeah, 100%, James. It's reality. Reality beats to your own drum, and your own drum beats to your own reality until you're void of it. I think you've got to make the manner of it click. But Raw did start with one angle. It has followed up from last week. I will say some continuity, folks. Yay, praise for continuity. You've got a woman who cannot even seem to get a normal rematch clause to get her title back. And she's forced to compete in a fatal four-way where she was made to work differently and she was gassed after 45 seconds because it's harmful to a giant or a big woman. And instead, Nia Jax is now on Raw attacking Rhea Ripley. I don't care if there's a January transfer window going on in WWE. Can you at least allow Nia Jax to actually get her rematch first by Tiffany and let Tiffany, I don't know what's the word, that's it, get her kicked off SmackDown? Instead of just going, she lost the title, let's just move her. Like, it seems a bit cheap considering how great a year Nia Jax actually had last year. And that's coming from someone who isn't a fan, particularly a more of a recognized fan. I just find it a little bit strange, a little bit disheartening that this is what Nia Jax has been succumbed to. What do you think?
I think Nia has improved since coming back, but yeah, where's the story of her just going after Rhea Ripley when she
Yeah,
had been in a feud with Tiffany? You had all the signs of Tiffany was going to turn, Tiffany was going to turn. Tiffany finally turns and wins the belt. So Nia's just like, okay, I'm not pissed off. I'm not mad this bitch just pinned me and won the belt.
exactly.
And then again, I hate to say this because, like I said, Nia has improved. She is
Mm-hmm.
not on the same level as Rhea Ripley. So if you're
No,
going to put her in a program with Rhea's basically going to have to carry that match.
yeah,
And
I
in
agree.
the long run, we could have a Mercedes Moné Britt Baker match here where the match is so bad that it even hurts Rhea.
And especially at a crucial point in the year as well, where you can't afford to make a mistake like that.
Especially with you being on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's quite frightening in that way. This is what I don't understand. Like WWE have completely removed the concept of a rematch. Like Tiffany wins tell now doesn't get a rematch, it puts it in a situation Rhea Ripley find the baffling. Yeah, I don't understand it either. Like
But there was no discord on this, like, where's the story? Why are they doing this? But you let AEW pivot one little millimeter and all hell breaks loose.
even contextually without them, it makes no difference. I'll be surprised if this happens, Maria, but it's a fair thing. I don't think Jordan Grace is going to win the Rumble. For one, the reason why I don't think WWE is going to win the Royal Rumble is I don't think they would have the ambition to do such a move. It doesn't. It would be quite a like that's an ambitious move in a positive sense. I will grant that that's actually a positive way to do the Rumble.
Which means they're not gonna do it.
Exactly. They're going to go for the clear obvious. The winner of the Rumble on February 1st, 8 days from now, well, 9 days from now, pretty much. The winner of the Royal Rumble is going to be Charlotte Flair. And she's either going to do it from very early in the match, like her dad did, number 3, or Charlotte Flair is going to win the Royal Rumble from number 30.
Yeah,
She's
I'm guessing it's either gonna be Charlotte or Becky if Becky has decided to come back.
the only way Becky wins the Rumble, she politics heads to Charlotte. Because there's no way Charlotte's going to let that happen. It'd be interesting to see it. I don't think either or should win the Rumble, but I think if you're going to be smart, you go for Charlotte over Becky, but that's the reality of it. The reason why I put Jake on there is because he could have been so much more. He should have main evented Mania, but instead he was doing Heroes of Wrestling. The reason why he didn't main event WrestleMania is because of Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Vince actually liked Jake, he just didn't choose him. Instead, he preferred the option of going for the larger than life. But what's weird is he chose larger than life, but he chose Sergeant Slaughter of all people to win the championship over Ultimate Warrior when it should have been Macho Man Randy Savage. In my opinion, WrestleMania 7, the main event should have been Macho Man versus Ultimate Warrior, instead of it just being the retirement match, which didn't even last a year. Because they know that WWE is better with Macho Man at the time than they is with Hulk Hogan and Warrior. Reality of entertainment. But I don't know. It's Jake was great up until Jake's last good year of wrestling was probably 1994, 1995, 1996 when he helped Steve Austin win the King of the Ring. He was finished. His movement was gone. But that guy's got a greater legacy in wrestling than anyone ever could imagine. His whole entire promo work and his character work is better than pretty much anybody I've ever seen. Like he just gets it. It's
And
like
that's
that's so
another thing I don't understand. Like, I know we're discussing WWE, but
go on.
AEW has Jake Roberts in their system. Why is Jake not giving promo classes to these younger talents?
I don't know, because when I look at it, he's clearly doing it to the likes of Murder Hawk, because he's doing the exact same promo that Jake did in his prime. That slow, calmer tone, slightly deeper voice, and it doesn't hurt him at all. But there's some really good young guys that would massively benefit, and it begs the question: are they asking him for help? And if they're not, you're a fool.
Well, that's true. That goes back to the discussion we had, I don't know, a week or two ago when I was on the show about
Last week,
the the younger guys just feel like they're all that and don't need assistance from the vets. I mean, I don't care how old you are, you always gonna need some help, or you can take advice from someone that's been there, done that.
Oh yeah, massively. My TV is bloody full of stupid things, so I'd missed like 50 minutes of the game. That's awkward. I do have the obvious question. I suppose maybe the obvious answer appears, but is it just a constant effort from talent to try and prove that they don't need the veterans? But I would always say that you don't always need to be a veteran roster or rely heavy on them, but at least ask for their advice. What harm can it do you? It's not like they're going to tell you you're not good enough. They might say in some ways you might be weak in some areas and you're strong in others, but they're not going to tell you to your face that you're terrible. Not unless you really piss them off and disrespect them.
Or you're just really, really, really terrible.
Yeah, I think they'll ease them off gently, to be honest. I think they'll just say, like, maybe you're just not cut for this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the reality. What do you think of Heroes of Wrestling? Do you think it hinders its legacy? I never really pay attention to Heroes of Wrestling, if you're honest. I don't really pay attention to it. It's not that it's terrible, man. I got better things to do. It's one of the things that never gets near my screen. Same with reality wrestling. I don't watch that because Booker T runs it. No harm in asking. Exactly, James. Exactly. And speaking of not asking for advice, Jey Uso, fella, you need to ask for advice. And the advice...
It's your favorite, Reese. Let's start eating.
No, I got better.
Let's out-eat Michael Cole.
No. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I absolutely need to see this happen. I need to see Jey Uso actually ask advice on how to be more than just a word. Because people are all up in arms about Seth Rollins, that Seth Rollins is just a song. But in reality, let's be real, whether you love him or hate him or you just don't particularly like him, he is actually more than a song. The guy can work. But the song has done a lot for him. All right, Rich, I actually have got on TV. I do have it on TV. I still had to do this because my PC wanted to be an absolute ball bag yesterday, so I still have to do the double stream, even though it was meant to be a single. I went at double because I've got another show to do. But it needs to be done. So you're talking a good couple hours of this. Also, speaking of which, someone tell Matthew to get his ass over here. Catherine, you know the score. You messaged him. He'll listen to you. But please do like, share. Please do like.
I'm his wrestling wife, evidently.
Everyone
ain't gonna tell his real wife that. I know he said he had to work.
Everyone gets paid to be a gimmick these days.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, my gimmick is honest and painful. But yeah, this promo. The only good thing about this promo, which is actually quite funny. Thanks, Rich. The only good thing about this promo, and it's It is the genuine truth. The only good thing about this promo is the fact that it actually just quickly led to a brawl and it got over with. Because this promo really highlighted a major problem. You've got somebody who can't wrestle and can't talk. You've got someone that can't wrestle but can't talk. And you've got dumbass fans who are sitting there calling this the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Well, I mean, their bar is kind of low, but I will say that
Great
Gunther
save.
was spitting some facts at Jey Uso.
Oh, absolutely. He's completely ill-worthy of a championship.
And I
Especially
have a feeling, it's just this gut feeling, they might let Jey Uso win Saturday main event.
Well, we know that Gunther doesn't have a world title match scheduled for the Royal Rumble. So that's beggars belief.
Oh, I think he's gonna get Goldberg at the Royal Rumble.
Ugh. That is just utter nonsense. That I do not want to see that.
I
Especially
wouldn't
because
mind if Dragunov is back. I wouldn't mind seeing another round of them two because they had a really decent match in NXT once.
oh yeah, I mean that was actually worth watching. Like it was really good. Looks like an injury for Connor Barron. That's not good. Right on the foot. Right on the foot. Bayley's officially God, not Goldberg. We've seen enough of him. Absolutely. The guy says Jake Roberts drunk is more entertaining on the mic than some of the AEW roster. You know what? I'm actually not going to disagree with that. Purely because it is a weakness on most of the AEW roster. Most of their weakness is literally the mic, whereas the ring stuff and how they present themselves with emotion is stronger. Not everyone's going to be great on the mic though, and you can still be great. You can still be terrible on the mic but still succeed. Like it's just about how you come across. But it is a major, major focal point for them to really get in tune. Bayley's confirmed she's signed to Raw. Okay, cool. We kind of expected that. Them cheeks can be on Monday Night Raw. That's cool. And them cheeks are off my screen. Rey Mysterio, of all things, defeated Kofi Kingston with his own move. What's that all about?
Yeah, that was a little strange to me. And if you're wanting Kofi and Xavier to be true heels and get real heel heat, why would you not have Kofi beat him like holding onto the rope or holding onto the trunks or something? Some heel
Or
tactic to win.
or a low blow, then the SOS
Yeah.
that he does. Like it made him sense. I don't understand, especially because a babyface shouldn't be winning by stealing the opposition's finisher. That's a heel tactic. Obviously, everybody does steal finishers in a way. Babyfaces do it as well, but a babyface does it, but they don't win by it. They just do it for the damage and the eventual near fall. But every time I've seen a heel talent use an opponent's finisher, they have won the match. And Chris Jericho's a prime example of that when he done it on The Rock. I just don't understand why Mysterio wins with the boom drop. And it doesn't help. This commentary has GBL, and he just sits there and does nothing. Like, it's a reality that he's been doing so well elsewhere, and he comes back to just sit there and party up with Pat Scrap of cash, and Michael can't do any more to bore me Cole. Like, the actual Cole itself is better than Michael Cole. It's becoming a problem. It's not obviously the guy. It's not Kofi Mania anymore, but Kofi's meant to be a heel. And Kofi Mania wasn't that interesting anyway. If you think about it, that was already doomed for the beginning. The minute he won that title, he was set up. We knew who was going to take the title off him. It was just a matter of when. Everyone knew the title was going back to Brock Lesnar. But I don't know. What did you think of What did you think of the match, though, Mysterio versus Kofi Kingston? It's their first match in over a decade, but their chemistry at least showed together. You can see the chemistry's there between those 2.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a it was a decent match. Just the outcome didn't seem to make sense to me if you're trying to get New Day over as a heel faction.
Mm.
And then
Massively.
if you're gonna set them up, you're gonna have Mysterio and Cruz del Toro and Wild eventually going to end up
I know.
in like
I
a
know.
6-man tag. So New Day is going to have to find a partner to go against them.
That Quincy guy will probably be it, or whatever he was called. Something Jones or whatever. It's the guy who was on NXT, but when he came to Raw, you saw him once and he was just never there again.
Oh, I think he got released.
Mm. You know what I would do if I was the New Day? Even though he's doing amazing in Noah, I would actually invite. I would put Omos in this heel New Day faction. Just imagine Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are just taking the pure piss out of people. They've alienated the whole roster.
And then almost just be the muscle.
Aye.
Kind of
They're
like
getting
Big E
beat.
was.
Exactly. They're getting beaten up in the ring. And nobody's coming to help them. And all of a sudden, all you see is just big Omos walking to the ring. Instantly, you're scared. Omos has a presentation. Straight away, James, that's a shout, Reece. I think that could work. I would like it. I wasn't sure about Omos at first. Like, for quite a while, I wasn't sure because I don't think he was being used the way a giant should. And it made me dislike him very early. AJ Styles, to be fair, he tried to get him over as a giant, both as a heel tag team and against Omos. But it didn't really work. I also think it didn't help him when he lost to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I saw it happen anyway. I knew Brock was going to beat him. There's no way Brock was going to lose to a giant. He always seems to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But they really took it away from Omos, and now he's went to Japan to reinvent himself. He looks happy. He looks healthy. He looks focused. The last ride powerbomb he does, I think either Taker gave him permission to use that, or almost just went, fuck this, I'm using it. I hope it's the former, because if he'd went to Taker for advice, Taker went, you know what, use the last ride powerbomb. You're a big man. You're going to scare the shit out of people when they're in the air. And when you throw them on the mat, it looks like they've been killed.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks perfect for him. I just want him
And
to
see,
use
there
it.
again, with Omos being a big man, Taker, Kane, those are the people he needs to be getting advice from on how a big man should perform in a ring.
Exactly. Or even ask Mark Henry,
Mm-hmm.
who was a bigger man, but he was probably the slowest of them all. I would say he's probably the slowest big man they ever had, even when he was lightweight. But that's just the reality of it. We got a strange partnership, though. It does link in, to be fair, with the whole Penta thing. But Chad Gable has now teamed up with Dominic Mysterio to get rid of the luchadors because they want to win championships. Are you for that or against it? See,
to be honest, I don't even know where this is going. Like, this just seemed out of left field. Chad Gable just shows up asking Dom for advice on how to get rid of luchadors.
Maybe he's afraid that the luchadors is his biggest threat to win the championship.
Okay, let's have a serious talk here. This is WWE. Do you really think they're going to put a major title on a luchador?
Yeah, they have.
They have, but do you think under Triple H, if he has his way, unless he gets backlash, do you really think he's going to do that?
Yeah.
Unless it's Rey Mysterio?
Yeah. With my chest, I think he will, yes. And I believe it'll be Penta.
I don't think he'll give Penta a single title. I think he'll wait till his brother comes in and gives them the tag titles, and that'll be the extent of what they get.
Most likely.
I mean, I could see him doing it as a fuck you to AEW.
I mean, to be fair, they should have done because AEW never gave him a singles run, which was ridiculously stupid.
Yeah, when Phoenix was hurt, Penta should have had a singles run and won a singles championship.
He only had one singles. He only had one singles title match in his 5 years in the company, I believe, and that was the match, I think, with Orange Cassidy for the international title. I believe that was the only singles match he had.
And he should have won it.
That's because TNA knew how to use him, dude. Penta's best run in America was probably TNA. And then obviously, outside of it, Mexico, Lucha Underground just nabbed him perfectly. This won't happen, though.
If they haven't done it already, then I don't see it happening at all. I think they lost the momentum on Chad Gable being IC champion. And it's not that Chad Gable isn't good in the ring, because he is. Unfortunately, I think they're going to do a program between Sheamus and Braun, because that's the one title Sheamus has not won in WWE, is the IC title. So now whether he'll win it on Saturday night or they hold off and just keep having them feud until WrestleMania and then Sheamus win it at WrestleMania is something I could see them doing. And Reece just up and left us. And then he just put me in center. But the Kingston Mysterio match was the first showdown they've had in 16 years. Then we get the Sami Zayn promo, which I don't even know why he's on my screen. He just needs to go. Nobody knows what they're doing with Sami Zayn. I know Sami thinks he's like in the upper elite of WWE, but I don't know. I don't see him. I don't see him being on the same level as McIntyre or Punk or Seth Rollins. James said, "Really didn't understand the finish of the Mysterio Kingston match." Yeah, we discussed that. Like, if you want Kingston and Woods to have heel heat, why are you letting Rey Mysterio beat him with his own move? That doesn't even make sense. Hi, Bobby. My friend Bobby showed up in the chat. So we get Sami Zayn entered himself into the Rumble, which, we all figure that. And then Kevin Owens appeared, which didn't make any sense. He's like, "I'm going to be there for you. You'll be there for me, blah, blah, blah." I enjoy Kevin Owens, and I enjoy Kevin Owens' character work. And Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre are the only two that really see where this Roman Reigns stuff is going. And Sami Zayn said that he didn't need a world championship, but he wanted it. Well, if you don't need it, then why do you want it? It ain't gonna help. You're still gonna suck. Maria said, I thought the heel change of New Day was going to get them wins. Well, we did too. I mean, um, your heels should win, and they should win using heel tactics by cheating. But we had Sammy and KO discuss their friendship. Owens is telling Sami Zayn that he believes in him, blah, blah, blah. And that they've never headlined WrestleMania main event together.
Yeah, I'd be alright with that. Just these
Welcome
ones.
back, Reece.
Yeah, just dropped out for a few, but there seems to be issues, so I'm going to fix it after the stream. So I'll stick to these headphones for now. But you never said I'm such an absolute nerd.
You're
See,
fine.
huge nerd.
Nothing wrong with being a geeky nerd.
Oh yeah, nothing better than that. I thought the heel change of New Day was going to get them wins. You know what's funny? So did I. That's
That's what
actually
I
great.
said.
I was going to say hello. I'm assuming Bobby's somebody you know. Welcome,
Yeah,
Bobby.
he's a friend of mine.
Nice seeing you, Bobby. Hope you're doing well.
Bobby is a big Toni Storm fan. So when I was at WrestleCade, I got her to do a video for Bobby and send it to him.
Oh, that's cute. I honestly can't see what's the way forward for Sami Zayn after all that Bloodline story. What is that there actually for him? I'll tell you what's there for him. It's called losing to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania non-title. Spoiler. Even though I believe Kevin
Are they
Owens should
team up
win.
again?
I'll-
Who knows?
Even though I do believe that Kevin Owens should win the title at the Royal Rumble.
Do you like Kevin Owens more as a heel or more as a face?
Oh, definitely as a heel. Like, as a heel, he understands. As a babyface, he tries. It just doesn't feel natural.
That's how
But
I
yeah.
feel.
Yeah, that's what I think. You know what I mean? Like, it works one way. It doesn't work any other way. I need to put these actually not in order. That's shocking.
But then what are you going to do with Sami Zayn if you have him fight Owens at WrestleMania? He's going to be in the same position that he's been in forever.
I'll make him lose.
He's basically a mid-card guy thinking he's an elite star.
See, Kevin Owens, I do firmly believe is an elite star.
I do too. I'm talking about Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn definitely isn't.
Yes, KO is a good storyteller as a heel.
Mm-hmm. Massively, and yeah, he works better as a heel. I think the problem. I'll tell you one thing as well that I liked. I like the fact that he rolled up to Raw in Bret Hart gear as a heel. That he's going for 97 Bret Hart. You can tell. He's in that straight facts. He's in that straight facts. Don't care if you love me or hate me. Bret Hart heel mode.
He's like, I'm just here to get my money and do my thing and move on.
Yeah. Except he should be doing it with the championship.
Oh, he definitely should dethrone Cody because Cody's reign has sucked donkey nuts.
That's one way of putting it. That is one way of putting it.
Well, we don't have really cool scenes like y'all do over there in the UK.
Do you see cool scenes?
Yeah. Like, I like when you say cock wobble.
I got one
And I
just
tried
for
to
you.
explain how the word cunt is used over in the UK compared to America. Because my mother got mad. My best friend called one day and I picked up the phone and said, "Hey, cunt." She's like, "You did what?" I was like, "She's my friend. That's the meaning of it in British."
Well, I got one just for you. Cody Rhodes is an elite ball bag. Or as we Scottish say, he's a ball bag. There's one just for you.
I'd start using that.
It'll make James laugh. Trust me. Because he'll get it.
I
Sheamus
think
and
Kevin
Braun.
Owens with the title would be better than Cody with the title.
Mm.
But
Like, I
then you'll
think
have all the
it's-
Cody crybabies like Dave LaGreca crying that Cody lost.
David LaGreca's opinion matters when.
Oh, it got so bad this morning, and I really wanted to listen to the show because Nick Nemeth was on today, because he's on Thursdays, and I really want to listen to the show, but oh my god, Dave LaGreca was so bad. I was like, yeah, I got to turn this shit off.
I really don't understand the guy. Like
I feel bad for Nick Nemeth.
You can say that again. I feel sorry for anyone that actually has to work with him that's actually likable. Like he's quite disingenuous.
Well, he did say something. Now, he did say something that got me thinking. He said that he liked AEW and wanted AEW to succeed, which is why when they first started out, he would have dedicated time on Wednesdays for Tony Khan to come on and promote the show. He said, but then we started criticizing AEW and they didn't want to have anything to do with us. When we were criticizing WWE, they didn't want to have anything to do with us. And now that we're praising WWE, they want to have everything to do with us.
I wish I had sound effects right now.
But shouldn't you be fair on both?
Yes.
And not glaze on one and bash the other one constantly?
Correct. You should be.
Like, he was literally bitching about the start of Dynamite last night.
That's alarming. Oh yeah. To be honest, I wouldn't mind that myself.
Yeah, but he signed on the dotted line.
I wouldn't mind it in a different concept.
Kevin Steen in AEW would be awesome.
I agree. Braun Breaker.
Could you imagine Scott Steiner in AEW if AEW had existed back then? Hey, Matthew.
What's up, big man? All good here. Okay, let's see. Changes for both sides before the second half. Oh, Maguire and Dallo. Why? Delette's off. Yes. Fucking Dutch fraud. Anyway, speaking of that, I agree about the whole Scott Steiner thing, but here's my big thing. What the heck is going on with Braun Breaker? Like, that's 3 shows in a row. That's 3 shows in a row where he's had the bare minimum to do. It's actually starting to really anger me. Because I don't know what they're playing at. I don't get this at all, you know?
Isn't him and Sheamus doing a match at Saturday Night Main Event?
Yeah. He's
'Cause
defending
this will be the first time we've seen Braun in a ring in how many weeks?
Well, he hasn't wrestled on TV since mid-December, I think.
So
I think
I'm thinking he's got to be injured for them not to put him in the ring.
He might be.
Like he had an injury or he re-aggravated an injury maybe.
Well, that's
And
the
that's
case.
why they're not putting him in the ring. But they're still giving him like, show him sitting in the crowd or having a backstage promo with Sheamus.
If that's the case, then I would invoke an old rule. I would invoke the old rule that if you can't defend a title past 30 days, you've got to forfeit. I was all for that rule, regardless of who you were. So I don't know why all of a sudden it's gone. Like, I would absolutely re-invoke that.
Well, it makes sense, and that way you can't hold the title hostage like Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm. Which we know happened. It's a poor reality. Sheamus doing his usual talk-ups. That's a good point as well. That is true. We know how Catherine feels about Thunder Rosa.
You mean Cunta Rosa. And Bobby was the one that come up with the name Cunta Rosa.
More like Straight Top Rosa. Hallelujah, Braun Breaker was in the crowd again, but what's going on? If it's a slight injury, then that's fair enough, but at least put him in a promo. Exactly.
And then even if he does have an injury, WWE has not come out and said it. So they're trying to hide it and just use him, showing him in the crowd or giving him the little backstage segment with Sheamus to set up a match in 5 days.
And let's be real. Do any of you guys actually care about the IC title match at Saturday's main event?
No, because they don't really have any story behind it, except it's the one title that has eluded Sheamus throughout his WWE career.
And he doesn't deserve it. Like, he doesn't need to be IC champion as well. It's a blazing obsession, and it's actually becoming embarrassing. Either way, Logan Paul got his happy hype video. Skip.
When is he coming back?
Royal Rumble. He'll be in the Rumble. Not that it makes much of a difference anyway, but yeah. Best match on the card, however, definitely was Penta versus Pete Dunne. But that match actually showed me something as well, which has got me asking a serious question. And I'm not sure why. But I'm going to ask everyone in the live chat this question, including you, Catherine, and I want you to see if you can guess what I'm thinking that I saw that went wrong with this match. There was something particular about Penta in this match that has me worried. And I'll see if anyone can guess it.
That they're neutering him?
No, not that. It's not that.
He's making mistakes in the ring because he has to slow down?
Nope. That would be funny. That would be funny.
How long was Santino in the Rumble?
1
Less-
second.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like less than a second.
Yeah, it was in, out. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
I always
Logan.
enjoyed him because he was like the comedy. Like I like him on in TNA.
It's a good laugh.
What is his character on TNA?
He's the director of operations.
Yes.
He's the on-screen he's the on-screen authority.
I'll take Cartman from South Park with your authority.
I just nailed Santino's voice really well. That was an excellent save. Ooh, that was excellent. Yeah. So what my issue was with this match, and it happened last week as well against Gable. It's not the movement. It's not the timing. It's not any sense of he's being toned down. It's the fact that in back-to-back matches, and I'm a big Penta fan. That's what makes it hard to say this. Man United have just scored from a corner.
Boo.
It actually hit off the goalkeeper and went in. Holy shit! What a goal!
Y'all cheating again.
No, that was a fair goal. That was weird. Oh, he's actually tried to punch it and it's went out. That's bad.
You think they're gonna do Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny?
It wouldn't surprise me. As a whole Legends thing, it would really be cool. You get some good, you get some strength out of the two of them. In a way, you can actually see who's the more viable celeb talent. Like that's actually really just yeah. It was an own goal, yeah, but it was an own goal. Christian Eriksen, to be fair, from a set piece is deadly though. Like the guy just gets it. CM Punk's promo. He shot himself in the foot. Like he really has shot himself in the foot because he's really made sure he's not winning the Rumble now.
And was there really a need to bring up Hulk Hogan?
That's what's going to cost him the Rumble win, in my opinion. Which is mental. Because prior to that, it was going really well. Calling out Sami Zayn a lot, it was strong. But I actually saw and heard a promo that was actually better than Punk's on Raw.
Oh wow.
What?
Sting has announced this will be his final year doing meet and greets in full gear face paint.
Rightly so. He doesn't need to do that anymore. It'll be sunglasses. This might come across differently, but for me, the one promo that completely ruined, well, not ruined, but the one promo that was actually better than Punk's throughout and actually highlight throughout, I actually thought Karrion Kross's promo was better. It had more relevance, and I find the delivery was a whole lot more effective. And I like that he's calling out the hypocrites. Like, immediately, number one being Sami Zayn. who then coincidentally appears next, talks about the Rumble.
So are they going to give Sami Zayn a program with Karrion Kross eventually?
I would say so. It wouldn't be a bad one.
But the bad thing is, they're not going to let Kross win.
Sadly not, because he's stuck with the Miz at the minute. You can't win anything if you've got the Miz.
Now, Mike Mizanin is not bad. He can talk on the mic. That's about the only good thing the Miz can do. Is talk on the mic. Kross is underrated. Yes and no. I see with Kross, he has potential. I just don't know if the gimmick is right, maybe. James said, after watching Punk's promo, it made me think Cena is going to win it now. Well, everybody's been saying that they think Cena's going to win since he announced that he was going to be in the Rumble. Few people heard rumors saying Randy Orton could be a possible winner, but again, does he need it? As a Randy Orton fan, he always needs it. Would I like to see Randy get the world title again and possibly break Cena's record? Yes. But I have heard Discord saying that this is the first year where the Royal Rumble is really unpredictable, where you really kind of don't know which way they want to go because there's so many different ways they could go with who could win. Kross has been doing good work lately. Maybe. I don't know if Cena's got it now. I mean, he could win the Elimination Chamber and still make his way to WrestleMania. But I think my favorites going into the Rumble right now, based on what I'm seeing on TV, is probably Cena and maybe Punk. But I don't know after him dropping Hulk Hogan if they would want to go with him. But he is due his WrestleMania moment, I believe. Get back and see what was next. Because I'm telling you, I really don't remember. Sami Zayn. So then we get a backstage segment of Bayley walking backstage, and we get Nia Jax. And then we see Roxanne Perez of NXT sitting ringside, which we all kind of figure Roxanne is being moved up to the main roster. I do think she's going to show up in the Rumble and possibly a permanent stay on the roster. Then we get Bayley and Nia in the match. Match wasn't that bad. It was a women's match. I'm not fond of women's matches, but I I was kind of shocked that they let Nia win. So are we just gonna have Bayley and Nia feud until WrestleMania and then set them up for a match? And then we get Rhea coming out because, she's pissed that Nia had jumped her earlier, which, again, as we said, made no sense. There was no storyline to that part. Nia just comes to Raw, decides she wants to take out Rhea since she lost her championship to Tiffany, that she could beat Rhea and take Rhea's championship. How long have I been watching wrestling for? Probably longer than you've been alive, to be honest. Because I'm pretty old. Fernando, Roxanne's eliminated Bayley from Rumble and set up a Mania match. I could see that giving the ending that they had on NXT last week, where Roxanne hit Bayley and they kind of started fighting, and then, because there's a hard out, it went off and you didn't get to see what really happened. I might not even be upset with that. I actually think I might like a Roxanne Bayley match. And I'm not a fan of Roxanne Perez. Roxanne versus Rhea? I don't think so. Bayley, Roxanne, yeah. Or I could see this being a triple threat with Nia, Bayley, and Rhea. We could have that. I don't know. I don't know if I would want a three-way. But I could see a three-way and then maybe Bayley getting ready to win and Roxanne costing her the win if they do it. But I don't think Roxanne is ready to battle Rhea Ripley. And then we get to see the Judgment Day, and Chad Gable's asking Dominic for some help, and Finn Balor is notably missing. And we see Mysterio hand Gable a piece of paper, and Gable says that he will learn some Lucha Libre dark arts. Some people are saying because they use the word dark arts that this could lead into Malachi Black coming in, which we all know he's pretty much gone from AEW. And the name of his wrestling school is called the Dark Arts. And then we get Liv Morgan joking about Baylor, who hasn't been winning a lot lately. And JD McDonough says that Balor is laid up, and that Dominic could take Balor's place with JD to try to win the tag titles back. And they announced that Lyra Valkyria was supposed to be on the show, which we all thought physically. Instead, we get a video package of her winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship and saying that she will defend the title against anyone. So, chat, who would be a good opponent for Lyra for her IC defense? I wish the Demon Balor would come back. I like the Demon Balor. That's what I'm thinking, Fernando. I think it is Becky too. But would they let Becky pin her this early since she just won it? And does Becky really need the Women's Intercontinental Championship? I don't think Becky is a mid-carder. I think she would directly go after Rhea's title. Then they show a video package of the head football coach for Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, who talks about being a huge wrestling fan. Then they talk about tickets for WrestleMania. Pretty much you have to probably take out a second mortgage on your house to get tickets for WrestleMania at those prices. And the tickets will be available on Friday. Then we see Sami Zayn walking up to Seth Rollins, and Zayn thanks Rollins last week for their talk and says it got through to him. To which Rollins says it's about time that Sami shows up, and Rollins is almost rooting for that Sami Zayn, but if push comes to shove, he'll throw him over the top rope in the Rumble. To which Zayn says, "Not if I throw you out first," and he walks off. So here again, we could have a program with Zayn and Rollins. Program with Zayn and Owens. Don't really know if I like either one. Then we get Pete Dunne versus Penta. I thought the match was pretty good. I kind of like Pete Dunne, believe it or not. I think he is really good in the ring. Now, his promo work, yeah. I think he needs some work on those. We see Penta get the win, which is very smart. So Penta's just come in. He's already got 2 wins. I could see you building him up to establish credit and eventually going after a mid-card title. Don't see him going after the World Heavyweight Championship. Too soon for another KO versus Sami. Well, this is the rinse and repeat WWE, who can't really come up with anything new creatively. And then after the promo that Sami and Kevin had earlier in the show, I mean, I could see Sami wanting to be a good friend and costing KO, and then KO getting pissed and going after Sami. WWE has been wasting Pete Dunne, and he is taking too many pins. Yes. Penta and Rey Mysterio versus New Day at Mania. And then again, just because Penta's a luchador, you're going to team him up with Rey Mysterio, which is stereotypical. I would let Penta be on his own and just establish himself. He don't really need Rey Mysterio. But in typical WWE fashion, that's probably what will happen. Is we'll get Rey and Penta teaming up versus the New Day. Then we get a video of everybody's favorite influence, Logan Paul. So I guess Logan Paul got his way, and Nick Khan decided to pay him that money he wanted to come back instead of do his boxing match. And it says Logan Paul will be on Raw next Monday. Yay. I'm sure we're all excited to see that. I know, I just can't wait. And also, we'll have the War Raiders put their World Tag Team Champions up against Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. And we're going to get Cody on the show also. Then we see CM Punk, and he addresses what he thinks is going to happen in the Royal Rumble. And he keeps referring to, if he doesn't win the Rumble, that he'll call in a favor or two if he needs to. So we still don't know what his favor is. Or when he's going to use it. And what that favor will do to benefit Punk himself. Fernando, I don't care for either Logan or Bad Bunny, but I think they are facing each other in Mania. Yeah, we discussed that a little bit earlier. It's an interesting idea and probably not a bad idea, since both of them are not actual, what you call, WWE wrestlers, but both are very athletic and both do have good ring performances. Because I enjoyed the match with Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest when they were in Puerto Rico. So I could see Bad Bunny and Logan Paul. And I can tell you, the only thing I remember about Logan Paul in a WWE ring is the match with Ricochet, where they both flew off the rope and they were mid-air with each other. You said the favor is Heyman helps Punk win the world championship. I don't know. I could see Heyman backstabbing Punk, because I wouldn't trust Heyman. I wouldn't trust Heyman at all if I was Punk, if I was Roman, if I was anybody. But if it gets the world championship title off of Gunther, might not be a bad idea, because just like Cody, Gunther's title reign has not been that interesting, nor that important, or has it been booked that well. Reece is still having trouble with his headphones, and he says, I think it's Sami versus KO again. Yeah, I think that's where they're going. Like I said, Triple H is not the booker everybody thinks he is. He's just rehashing storylines that we've already seen. And like I said, I think Sami comes out to try to help Kevin Owens and instead cost Kevin Owens the match, which is going to set up the feud between the two of them. But what does the chat think of the promo that CM Punk gave us? Even mentioning Hulk Hogan, saying that he would kill Hulkamania for good if he got in the Rumble. Then we see Drew getting ready for his match against Seth Rollins. And they announced that the Elimination Chamber will be in Toronto on March 1st. After the Bloodline story is dead, we will find out what kind of booker he is. The Bloodline storyline should have ended almost 2 years ago. They just keep adding to it because they have nothing else. James says Gunther's title reign has been done poorly booking wise. I agree. I am sick of hearing about Hogan. Wish people would stop bringing him up. Yeah, but this also has to go back. You have to distinguish between Hulk Hogan, the wrestler entertainer, and Hulk Hogan, the human being. Because, like it or not, Hulk Hogan did kind of help put wrestling on the map. Without Hulk Hogan, where would wrestling be? Really? I mean, I don't want to see Hulk Hogan in a ring, even if it's in the Rumble for like 3 seconds. I don't need to see him on Saturday night's main event. You would think after they trotted him out in Los Angeles at the Netflix debut and he got the boos, that they would be like, yeah, we'll just keep you on that Legends deal. You might can go do appearances here and there for us, but putting you on TV might not be a good idea. Bringing you in an arena might not be a good idea. James says he agrees with Reece earlier that Punk has shot himself in the foot. We will have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see on that. I do see Reese's point on that. I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if they let Punk win the Rumble. Because I think I'm definitely going to go with the Cena winning right now. We get a replay of last month on Raw where the Pure Fusion Collective, or the most boring women in wrestling, attacked Kairi Sane and damaged her hand. And then we get a match with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark versus Damage Control, which is Dakota Kai and Io Sky. I will have to say from this match, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this was the match where Zoe did this drop kick off the top rope, and it looked brilliant. I actually enjoyed it. You said he trashed Hogan. Why would Punk get punished for that? Because it's CM Punk. And Triple H is a petty motherfucker. And Punk really didn't have any business bringing up Hulk Hogan in general. I mean, that really did nothing for your promo by bringing up Hulk Hogan, in my opinion. And again, it's my opinion, and opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. But back to the Baszler, Stark, Dakota, Io match. It was pretty decent. Like I said, I really liked Stark's drop kick off the top rope. Io hits a over the moonsault for the win. I don't really know where they're going with this story wise. I mean, are we just going to keep having them feud back and forth? Then we get our main event of Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, which was an okay match. Excuse me. They exchanged some stiff chops before McIntyre hits a side headlock. Rollins gets in, he hits a baseball slide and then connects with a suicide dive. and he's getting ready to go for a second suicide dive, but McIntyre catches him and hits him with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex off, of course, everybody's favorite spot outside the ring, the announce table. Out of curiosity, I just wonder how much money it costs them in replacing announce tables, because every show they tear up announce tables. If not Becky, Sky would be a good challenge for Lyra and the U.S. women. Io and like, yeah, I could see that. I think I would like that better than Becky. And at least Io can go in the ring, unlike Becky. I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch. That would be a good program. Then we see Rollins sends McIntyre shoulder first into the ring post. He does it a couple more times. I really felt this match went on way too long. There was a few times in there where it looked like McIntyre was going to win. But I think the story with McIntyre is he can't control his anger or his emotions. And those cost him matches that he normally should win. Seth wins by pinfall. McIntyre gets pissed off, then he attacks Rollins. McIntyre scares off the ref, and Rollins tries to fight back. And Zayn comes in and attacks McIntyre, and he drives McIntyre into the ring post as he checks on Rollins. Then Zayn goes back to McIntyre, but McIntyre catches him with a glass cow kiss before slinging him into the barricade. McIntyre then comes back to Rollins, and Sami accidentally hits Rollins with the haluva kick. And again, Sami Zayn has fucked something up. I don't know if it's me, but I'm kind of getting bored of seeing Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre have a match like every other week. Fernando says, I've been over the announce table spot for a while. Yes, it is every week. And it's not just on Raw. It is on NXT. It is on SmackDown. That is like the only place they go where they can legitimately do something. They can't do anything else outside the ring except go to the announce table, either throw their opponent through the announce table, climb on the announce table, and do some type of body slam through the announce table. I mean, once in a while it's fine, but it's usually, like you said, every week. And then how many times do you have people bouncing their heads off the announce table? 2 or 3 matches, we have people bouncing their heads off the announce table because that's the only spot they know how to do. Fernando says Seth, KO, and Drew are going to start a faction and kill the OG bloodline for good. Huh. That's an interesting thought. I could see that because they're the only 3 that really feel that Roman is playing everybody. He won his necklace back, and he hasn't changed. He's still the dickhead that he was before. But if you have Kevin and Drew and Seth take down the OG bloodline, again, giving WWE's history, creatively, what are they going to do? The only creative they have is this bloodline story. And there's talks of Zilla coming in. There's talks of other Samoans coming in to fill out the bloodline. But if they could kill them off for good, I would not be upset. But if they do that, then it's probably going to take them a year or more to get to that point, because they have to drag it out for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. So any other comments about Monday Night Raw while we wait for Reece to get back? Now he's going to make me have to pull up. It would be a mistake to keep Bloodline story for another year. It's already stale, like the NWO at the end of WWC. Fernando agreed. But how long has the Bloodline story been going? Like we said, this should have ended 2 years ago almost. But when you're creatively bankrupt and you have nothing creative, you just keep going on. They're like the Energizer Bunny. They will not die. This story will not die. They will keep finding ways to keep the Bloodline story alive. And why, I don't know. But I agree, it's getting stale, but until the fans stop supporting it, they'll keep doing it.
Why would Punk get punished? Because Hogan's the golden goose. No matter what era, Hogan is the golden goose. I apologize, folks. These just for some reason are no longer working on my PC. So I'll just get something better. But I'm not getting one with a mic. I just want normal headphones that work on Bluetooth and all that. So that's the plan. Or a gaming headset that doesn't have the mic on it, just the main headset. But yeah, what's up, Fernando?
Yeah, welcome back, Reece.
Absolutely.
I've been trying to hold down your show.
You've done well. I've been listening. You've done brilliant. So, and if anything, we got past Raw, so we have 5.
Yes, Raw was very underwhelming.
Yeah,
I did like I said, I did like the Starks drop kick off the top rope.
That needs to be examined, because who else is actually doing that right now? A drop kick like that. Like Dakota Kai was taken to the cleaners. It was really well done. Really well done.
And you wasn't expecting that from her.
No. I think she's been working. You can tell she's been working hard. It'd be a mistake to keep Bloodline story for another year. It's already stale at the NWO at the end of WCW. Exactly. Seth, KO, and Drew are going to start a faction, kill the OG Bloodline. if you want to kill the OG bloodline, you just say, guys, these are sacked.
I think that's basically the only way, and they're not gonna fire them, so we're stuck with it another 4 years.
All round, I do agree for these, Fernando, but they just don't understand what they're doing. I've been over the announce table spot for a while, every week. It is actually becoming repetitive. It's actually a major problem, but we'll see. Penta and Rey Mysterio versus New Day at Mania. I hope not. This would derail the whole point of Penta. And WWE's been wasting Pete Dunne. Yeah, he's been finished for a long time. Dynamite then. Good old Dynamite. I don't even think, realistically, when you look at it, we don't really need an hour to talk Dynamite. I think 45 minutes is enough to confirm just how much better it was. So let's do that. First of all, excellent opener. They really... This is what I said about major differences about shows that flowed better. AEW
I was just happy I had Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay in the same ring.
Oh, Man United have just scored again. They would actually claw back. Rangers had actually equalised, and now Man United have scored with a couple of minutes to go. To be fair, my family, Rangers are big in my family, so I'll tell you that. But still, it's nice to see that it's all over. It is all over. Say football. Yeah. Omega and Ospreay in the ring is together in the ring is great. I've got no issue with that. I'm just glad they're getting over and done with a Grand Slam. Because if this went to Revolution, I don't think I would like it.
But that was the discourse that the IWC had was, oh, well, they hated each other and all of a sudden they're besties. No, you don't have to be besties with somebody to have a common enemy that you need to team up and take out.
Yeah, it's almost as ironic that these same people that are moaning about worst enemies or whatever teaming up to each other, it's been going on for years. Better enemies better rivals become best friends, or better rivals become teammates. It's been like that in the wrestling business for decades, so why are people complaining now? It makes no difference. Absolute stupid. And
exactly. They did not become best friends, but they teamed together to take out a common enemy.
And ironically, people praised this.
Mm-hmm.
So have the same energy and hold the same people. You cannot pick one over the other. It's ridiculous. Great opener. I love the segment in general. It leads to an absolute brawl all across the arena.
That's how a brawl should be done.
Mm-hmm. Omega looked in good shape. My only thing for him is how much work is he physically going to do at Grand Slam is the real telling point. Like, for me personally, this match should go no more than 15 minutes. It shouldn't.
I would say depending on how he's feeling, I could see Ospreay carrying the load.
He probably could. I just think
and
the
then,
best case
doing the hot tag, winning the match.
Maybe. It wouldn't be a bad thing. I just think they need to be wary. Another great example, yeah. That is true. You just need to make the most of it. Even Austin and HBK, until Steve Austin realized that he was actually the man, did work. But that's a reality.
But you have the two best wrestlers in the industry teaming up. Who would not want to see that?
Well, for one, you can't because the best wrestler in the industry, to an extent, isn't Will Ospreay.
It's Kenny Omega.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Kenny Omega.
Kenny's great, but I think the best right now is Zack Sabre Jr.
Kenny Omega. Zack is third under Omega Ospreay.
Oh, no. I don't think right now, I don't think Will's better than Zack. I think the reality, and this is the greatest part of this conversation. I don't think right now I don't think Will's better than him because the diverseness of his matches are not there, whereas Zack's matches are constantly evolving. They're constantly different.
I will give Zack his flowers. He is the best technical wrestler right now.
I think that I would agree with that as well. Although you've got Luke Jacobs as well, who's killing in British Strong Style, but he's technically sound. Josh Alexander as well. It's very, very difficult to determine. Fernando says 1 Kenny, 2 Will Ospreay, 3 Sabre. See, I think right now, Zack is just ahead of Will. Omega is definitely up there, but I think to have the two best, it needs to be Kenny and Zack in the same team. I think those are your two best, but
okay, I'll rephrase it. Your two best in AEW to please you.
Much better, because I think the whole reality.
Reece is never wrong.
You heard it there, folks.
That's what he says. I've heard Reece say he is never wrong.
Because I'm not. To be fair, though, the whole concept of the best is subjective. Like how you view it, like, because this is another thing as well. I don't base the best on the whole 5-star match thing. I never have, because then.
No, I based it on what my eyes see you do in the ring.
Yeah, so immediately I'm already saying some of Will's matches aren't above the 5-star threshold. Some of them are, but it's become such a. It should be called. Like Meltzer shouldn't call it the 5-star rating anymore. He should just say whatever comes close to Will is that. It should just be the Will Ospreay rating. Where Okada is in the conversation, but he's not had a good few months, and that's coming from a big Okada fan, Fernando. I say that with honesty. I think the difference is Okada's not had a good few months. He's still up there, but at the moment he's not in his best condition. But I think you'll see that evolve. I think the hardest conversation is where you put the likes of Marufuji, even Styles. Well, what people want to say about him, like, you've got to think about these guys can still do it. If they moved, you would see different conversations. It's huge narratives. What?
So evidently there is a contractual dispute between Alexa Bliss and WWE as they had her come back, had her planning to come back to Raw in San Jose, but her representatives reached out to WWE to initiate discussions for a new contract, but WWE expected her to resume under the terms of her existing agreement, which have been extended due to her time away. So the stalemate led WWE to cancel plans for Bliss's return and freeze all related creative plans while the two parties remain at odds.
Yeah, I've seen that before I came back on. That was one of the things that physically appeared on my news screen. That did appear. So I was actually wondering, that's WWE trying to play hardball with one of their best. And I
could see her wanting probably within her contract more time off. I mean, she just had a baby.
Yeah, she's probably wanting. She's probably not looking for more money.
Yeah, I think she's just wanting more time off.
Yeah, more dates away,
Mhm.
just so she can still be with her child. I mean, they gave it to Becky Lynch, for God's sake.
But she's not on the same level as Becky Lynch.
No, she's ahead of Becky Lynch.
Well, I mean, wrestling-wise, yes, but
In general, for me. I don't think Becky ever comes close to that.
what
It's
about
too bad
Nikki
that
Bella returning in 2025?
give me a knife. It's too bad Alexa versus Liv. What? No,
No.
no, Fernando, no. A legend versus a tramp. I don't want to see that. No, no, thank you. I can't. I can't do that. Julio, no thanks. I don't swing that way. But good seeing you, mate.
I did like the part in the first
You wouldn't know
segment
Julio.
of Raw where they were on the lighting rig and Omega says, "Yeah, I'm afraid of heights."
Yeah, that was weird. But that's an adrenaline rush. But hey ho, hey ho. We then obviously get the word that we're like. Obviously, they're talking up the match and what's going to happen on the show. So, well, tag team titles, Colt versus Pac. I'm sure coping with that. Julia Hart and Jamie Hayter 2, Swerve versus AR Fox. Didn't really need that one. Double J loves to make an appearance. And that's the end of it. Right, so.
Well, didn't you just love MJF's promo?
No. Did not like it at all. But I did like
Didn't you
that.
just like how Jeff Jarrett sprung back up after Claudio beat him down?
Oh no. It was weak. It was weak again from this New York fool. But what I will say that wasn't weak was the Hart Syndicate's performance in the tag title match that completely justified my points from the last 2 weeks. They completely tore Private Party apart. The double overhead belly suplex on outside the ring before the Uranagi through the table was excellent. Like that was essential to showcasing their dominance. I thought the 2 spears as well highlighted Bobby's not pissing about anymore, and I really like that running high knee to the face from Shelton in the turnbuckle that led to the final spear. I'm liking the way they're working as a dynamic. I like the fact they keep. I like that they keep highlighting that Bobby's never been in a tag team in anywhere he's been. He's never been a tag team wrestler, so this is new to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's being carried by somebody who gets it. Like Shelton Benjamin is carrying him in the most appropriate way. So I like this, and I like the fact that they put the titles on them. I disagree with the notion, it's ex-WWE talents beating AEW talent.
Our private party's buried because they lost.
Exactly. Like everybody in a company, let's be real, is an ex something. Doesn't matter if you're an AEW talent. You could be an ex OVW talent. Doesn't matter.
And I don't think Private Party was buried in this match.
No,
they needed to get the titles off of them because they have no momentum. And granted, no fault of their own, is just the way they were booked.
Yeah, whereas the Hart Syndicate have been booked very strongly since they've walked in.
And I will say, it did look like Zay did have a concussion at the end of this match.
I think they have, yeah, through no fault of anyone. It's just I think the Uranagi led to the I think it was a wrong landing, which does happen. MJF versus Hangman is coming soon. Yeah, Hangman should win that, by the way.
No.
In fact, yeah, he should beat MJF. Don't start your Hangman agendas now. If this is a feud, Hangman's got to win this. But not just that, he needs to beat the piss out of him.
Do you really think they're going to let Hangman beat MJF?
Yes. Massively, yeah. Reason being because they know time's up for one of them. They know it's time's up for MJF. Whereas Hangman,
I think MJF needs to take think MJF needs a character change,
I think MJF needs a
but I think
career
he's
change.
too hard-headed to realize that. And
Why
this
do you
is
think?
coming from an MJF fan.
That's why Hangman needs to beat him, because Hangman's done all that. He's
Hangman
not.
still sucks.
No, MJF
Personal
sucks.
preference.
See, you can use your personal preferences. But still hold
But I will
this.
say, if you give an MJF Hangman feud, that's money.
If they do it right, because I know what I would do with it. This is where MJF can really get some momentum back. He can highlight the fact that Hangman went after the wrong person when he was world champion, thinking he was better and above everyone else, referencing things that had nothing to do with him, and it goes against him. And it's a manner of getting the real heat, not the cheap heat. If you want to go for it, that's if they've got the intelligence to do it. Let's see. Yep, they are important again. AEW dropped the ball, proud part to win the tag titles. Cheers, buddy. I will be on again tomorrow if you're around. Another double tomorrow, but I'm finishing early from work.
Bye, James.
So we can get a proper double review tomorrow that doesn't kill us. But yes, my man, I will see you later on. Look after yourself. This match was excellent, and MVP's commentary was fantastic. Claudio agreeing to fight Jeff Jarrett, good. I like that. They're building up to the eventual. Is he going to get?
Well, that's the stipulation. Jeff Jarrett's got to beat Claudio to get a world title shot against Mox.
And I think he will. I think he will get it. Just to prove that he can get close, but he won't get close enough.
Mm-hmm.
They'll tell that foil, like that story there, mountains need to be climbed. He said Moxley is a mountain to climb. It's an obstacle. It's one that he should
I don't see how Jeff Jarrett, because technically he should not be beating Claudio. So I don't know how we're going to get
interference.
Yeah, maybe.
Interference gone wrong, I reckon. Wheeler Yuta.
Don't do my Wheeler Yuta like that.
Yeah, the guy's a numpty. He'll get it wrong. They should have a trilogy. Hangman wins match 1, MJF wins 2, and wins the rubber. Maybe.
If done right, I wouldn't mind 3 matches. If done right.
Claudio doesn't need protection, I think. I don't think he needs realistic protection, because he could still lose, but then absolutely beat the living hell out of Jarrett. Like, Claudio could actually lose on purpose as well. But I actually think this match shouldn't go last a minute. Literally, the minute the bell rings, Claudio just hits him with a low blow right in front of the referee. He gets a title match. Then, boom, all the Death Riders beat the hell out of him. It works. That's heel antics at its
We're
best.
getting Will Ospreay versus Brian Cage next week.
Yeah, it's the wrong match. Even though it's with the Callis family, that's the wrong match. They should be having singles matches together. Like, Ospreay should be going after. It should be Ospreay versus Murder Hawk again.
I'm never upset when Lance Archer has TV time. I like him.
He's incredible. I like Brian Cage as well, but I think Brian Cage needs to go after someone else in this manner. I think it's the wrong use for him. I don't think he would look bad. It's just how you make him lose. If he loses by DQ by immediately kicking Jarrett in the balls, then we know that Karen hasn't got much to offer anyway, so it's all right. She's got different kinds of fun bags. Mariah May's promo, simply put, this vignette from Mariah May, shite. It was boring. The only good thing about it is it skipped to Megan Bain. So thanks. Evening, my man. How are you? That was the only good thing about this. Swear versus AR Fox, mate. This was pointless.
It was pointless, but they do have good chemistry in the ring.
For AEW, yeah, he is.
I wouldn't
Actually,
mind seeing Brian Cage and Bobby Lashley eventually have a feud with each other.
I think you will. When you look at their 4 big men, AEW right now have a good core big men group. If you look, I actually know 5. No particular order, but the 5 of them: Hobbs, Big Bill, Murder Hawk, Cage,
Lashley.
Yeah. To be fair, you could include Shelton Benjamin if you wanted to, considering where he's at right now. To be fair, can't really say much. Scottish side of my family are it's all Rangers, including myself. But I wanted Man United to win anyway, and they got the win. I expected United to win. I thought it'd be a draw though initially. I bet this angle Don Callis and Ospreay and Omega will end up with Okada and join Callis in the feud with Omega. I know it's coming. Obviously Okada versus Omega is going to be the all-in main event, but I don't think Okada needs to join Callis for this. He can just do it on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they never got along in New Japan. Callis and Okada never got along. I think it could be. I would actually keep the titles on Hurt Syndicate for a while. Just let them run through the roster.
I'd let them run through all the smaller tag teams, like the Andretti's, Leo Rush, Top Flight.
And then you work up to
work up to Buddy and Brody, which I will have to say their video vignette, awesome. Which pretty much solidified that Malachi's gone.
Yeah, he's done. I would have been more interested in Swerve versus Fox if Fox wasn't off TV forever. I agree with that. Colt could become the leader of Brody and Buddy and do what he wanted to do before he got injured. Creates new brood with Brody and Buddy, or is that too much? It does work, but I think Colt has his eyes purely on the world title. To be fair, I just hope Colt lives up to his word when he said that he wants to still put over the young talent. I don't want it to be a veteran who just takes. I want it to still make sure he gives back. Just like every other veteran, I still want him to give back. But I wouldn't mind him doing this.
I think he was doing that until he broke his leg. Because if you go back and watch some of the matches on Collision, on Dynamite, he was wrestling young talent and people were bitching. Well, there's no story on why he's wrestling these people because he wanted to. The same thing with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan just picked people he wanted to wrestle, and Tony Khan's like, okay, it's your last year pretty much for in ring, so you can wrestle whoever you want. We don't have to build a story for that.
No, I agree.
I mean, talent like that, like Cope, Danielson, they don't have to have a story on why they're wrestling somebody because they fucking want to. That's your story. And they're trying to elevate the young talent by putting them over, which is what everybody bitches about.
Exactly. It's annoying. I was expecting more of Fletcher's Australia push a tag match. To be fair, it's a tag match with 3 top talents involved. And it's what he's known for in Australia, so I'm okay with it. I would make it the main event, though. Hurt Syndicate should be the longest tag champs.
As long as the Elite don't get them, the Young Bucks don't get them again, I'm okay. And I'm a Young Bucks fan, but they don't need the tag titles again.
I would have thought the longest title reign should have went with FTR or the Guns.
Yeah, where are the Guns? They need to come back too.
I'm not actually sure. I don't know if
I think one of them did get hurt.
Might well have been. I'm actually not sure though. The story people can be annoying sometimes. Wrestling doesn't always need a story.
Thank you. I keep saying that, and every time I say something like that on Twitter, I get bombarded.
Some elements doesn't need it, like Pete Dunne versus Penta, even though they wrestled in the UK. That wasn't a story. That was simply 2 highly rated talents wrestling in the ring. this is another one. It's two highly rated talents in the ring against each other. It's completely valid. I thought Ricochet's appearance here as well was excellent. He looks excellent in the scissors as a constant part of his appearance. Really settles in. I really do like it. Harley is funny. Her segment with Money and Toni Storm were brilliant. I really did like that.
Harley Cameron is the gem, is like the diamond in the rough that you find.
Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously, Hangman faced against, he obviously, after the promo that MJF had, he then appeared against a local competitor and beat him quite easy. It's quite telling as well that the minute he used the Angel's Wings, Danielson did appear. Daniels appeared. I quite like that. Just the elements of it. I think that just shows commitment to someone, but they're showing strong commitments to Hangman. I miss our EVPs already. Well, one's there. Hart Syndicate have been pretty good. I wonder what the hate's about. It's because they came from WWE and their fans have just turned on them, which is no point. If you're a fan of a wrestler, just be a fan, unless they're an absolute wanker. Harley's a bright future, but doesn't deserve to be in a spot Mercedes right now. Athena versus Mercedes. I agree with that. I do agree.
You can't blame Harley for shooting her shot, as they say, though.
I like the fact that she tried to change up her words around Mercedes. And she's like, I'm the woman with the... yes. And she tried. I was like, you should have just said it.
And did you notice that Mercedes almost cracked while she was doing that? Like, Mercedes almost came out of character and started dying laughing.
I think she would have been like, can I have a shot? Mercedes probably said,
I thought one of them was injured.
Yeah, Austin. The bigger one of the two. Yeah, they always try to rewrite history. But you can't rewrite that once people already know the truth. Always remember.
With Fletch. I do miss the EVPs together.
They were fun. They were fun.
But damn it, one time I show up at an AEW event, I need Kenny Omega there in person.
Yeah, I wonder how
Not
that
saying
feels
that
like.
I might not get arrested, but I just need him there in person.
I mean, I have experienced that. Twice. Trevor Scissor Daddy should watch out for a Samantha bomb because Swerve's a dangerous man. Imagine Swerve kidnapping Samantha. That buzz would get around the feud. Samantha's. That's a good point.
Samantha's no longer beloved by WWE fans since she left.
I do agree with that.
But that would be awesome. Swerve kidnapping her.
It would be wild if he did, though. But that would really derail. That would derail Ricochet, though, as the heel, because it would make Swerve the heel if he did that.
I'm okay with heel versus heel.
In this context, there should be. In this particular time. Any other time, yes.
For Swerve to do that, for Swerve to kidnap Samantha, I would think Ricochet would really have to do something to Nana. Like injure Nana severely, something like that that will make Swerve flip the fuck out. Then that could be your justification on why he did what he did.
I might have an idea. Let me just have one look at something. I just want to see one thing.
Clutch said WWE fans ain't wrestling fans. We agree. Matthew
Yeah,
said
he
that
would.
might cause a riot.
He would be the heel. Yes, he would. 100% he would be the heel in that case. Unless Ricochet does something else. But kidnapping is
That's what I'm
always
saying.
a heel
Ricochet
antic.
does something so outrageous that causes Swerve to flip out. That would lead Swerve to do that to get revenge on Ricochet. Because even good people sometimes get pushed to the limit where they flip.
I would use those scissors. I would use the scissors. And I would actually cut Prince Nana. Not physically. But like cut some of his clothes. Cut his bandanas. Like just parts of him that represent, just cut them up. Like it would really be interesting. Or you just flat out destroy him. That's the only other option. Jamie Hayter versus Julia Hart was actually quite a good match. I like the way that Jamie Hayter also post-match put Julia Hart over with her promo. Again, that is wise work from someone who's more experienced and more known. Even though Julia Hart is known, this is actually really well done. It's just a manner to how it goes, and her new heel theme song is much better because it's been updated to "The Heart Always Wins." So we already know there's a change, and then obviously the main event was excellent. Yes, Jamie is getting a push again. This was, like I said, I never said that one show was particularly better than the other at the very start. I said the major difference is the flow of the shows were better. And I personally think this show flowed better because the main event still had about 20 minutes. Same as Raw. SmackDown, you got 20 minutes. The Raw main event, I think, got 18 for remaining time left.
And I thought it was too long. And it could be I thought that the Raw main event was too long because, yet again, we have seen them wrestle before numerous times.
They did exactly what I asked for, though. This was weird. They kept doing what I've begged for, which is go for the finish, counter the finish, try to use your own, counter that. I'm happy with multiple attempts, just not multiple kickouts. This wasn't like that at all. This is exactly what I want. So I was happy with them to that extent. But this show was much better flowed. And if WWE was clever, I would use their layout. I would use the AEW layout, and it's much better content. When is Air Fox getting the push he deserves? Never. I think he's just going to be a worker.
I want to address Fernando's comment about Jamie Hayter getting a push. For all those people that were bitching because she showed up at the pre-show of All In and then say she was getting buried. I mean, did you expect her just to come in and get a shot at the title off of injury?
I wouldn't have minded. Obviously, I'm not expecting them. Just saying I wouldn't have minded that.
So she needed to get the ring rust off, and then you start putting her in better feuds to build her back up to show that she is championship material.
Exactly. That's how it should be. But they won't allow it. The beginning segment with Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega should have finished so instead of the Adam Copeland Pac match. No, I personally
No,
think
because you want to start your show off hot, and that was a very hot segment.
yeah, I agree. And it is actually Dynamite started with a story
And ended with a story.
and ended with a story.
But
Exactly.
AEW doesn't tell stories, remember, Reese?
Both shows actually did that this week. It was just the manner of choosing order. Raw started with a story. Raw ended with a story. The exact same, ironically, promo match. The exact same layout, but it was between them is where the change matters. And that's the key. They do that, we're good. I like this. The only thing for me is if Jarrett does win against Claudio, will he get the title match at Grand Slam? Because I think it should be Jay White. Because he was also excellent in this moment as well. Like
I think they're planting seeds for that eventually. And there was a lot of discourse about, well, why didn't Powerhouse Hobbs come out and save Cope? Why didn't Jeff Jarrett come out and save Cope instead of Jay White? Because they're all gunning for the title. So it really doesn't matter.
And also,
Jay White has made his intentions known that he wants the title. Jeff Jarrett made his intentions known he wanted the title. He got his ass kicked by Claudio earlier. So process of elimination, Jay White was really the only one left.
And also,
Hobbs already lost to Moxley, so why would he come back out again?
And he's got Big Bill to contend with on Saturday. It's all about the logic, but they're missing it. This might be the step up for the Death Riders as well. Hopefully now, Jay White should get the Adam Copeland spot. I do see that. I think Copeland is doing what he needs to do right though, which is fine. I think you've still got Christian as well to appear.
Well, I mean, I believe that's what we're all leading up to. I see Copeland beating Moxley, winning the title, and then Christian cashing in his title chance and taking it off of Copeland.
That's exactly what I said.
And then when Darby comes back, Darby takes it off of Christian.
And then Jay White takes it from him.
And then Jay White takes it from Darby.
Actually, no, Hangman should take it.
Hangman don't ever need that title again.
Hangman heel champ will be better second time round because then it leads to Jay White, the babyface, taking the championship. Logic.
Hangman does not need that title ever again, period.
He does. He deserves a redemption run.
Big Bill versus Hobbs is going to be fire. I agree, as long as we don't get meat chants from the crowd.
I hate that chant.
And they're going to be in Jacksonville Saturday, so I don't know. Do you think we're going to get meat chants from the crowd?
Everyone in Jacksonville is a dumbass, so absolutely.
Oh, gee.
Jacksonville, the home of weirdos, is absolutely going to be. Is annoying, actually. This is the Bleacher Report overall show evaluation, right, of AEW Dynamite. And Bleacher Report are unbiased, ladies and gentlemen. So
Fernando says Big Bill should leave the learning tree and become a top babyface. If you watched the promo last night, you could see signs where I think Jericho's getting ready to turn.
Yeah. It's because they know if Big Bill's
is getting too big. His popularity is getting
he's too big a threat for him, which obviously Jericho can't have. This is so Bleacher Report I'll do the AEW one, then I'll give the WWE one, so it's very fair. So AEW says this. Despite lacking the loaded card of previous weeks, especially due to travel issues limiting the available roster, this was the best show AEW delivered in 2025. Every segment moved the company's key stories forward. The action was consistently strong, even if the show lacked a clear show stealer. I agree. The best part was the energy.
Okay.
I do
He
believe
said this was the best show in 2025. You do
So-
realize there's only been 2.5 weeks of 2025.
that's what they're established so far in terms of all the shows so far. It's the best one so far because they haven't said that about previous shows. They've just said it's been okay. They said this was the best one. So the action was consistently strong, even if the show lacked a clear show stealer. The best part was the energy, perhaps due to the limited roster. Nothing was rushed, allowing each moment to shine. Opening with an arena brawl and ending with a brutal, stable beatdown, props to that. Highlighted that what AEW has done well, elevating the tension to biggest stories. With the large roster, AEW understandably cannot keep every week this tight and focused. But this is a strong example of how the company should lean in 2025. This show was given an A minus for a grading. Now for the WWE one. It's too soon to be ranking as, but they've never praised the previous shows as high as this. Last week's show got a C minus, I think, or something like that. I think they're saying the way the show went start to finish, it never really got as intense enough to say this is a show stealer, which isn't actually an insult on the product. It's actually just clamoring the fact that it's important to find something to steal it. And I think next week the show stealer will be Omega. They're building to it. I don't think it's harsh to say that there was no show stealer. I think it's actually quite a moderate take.
Does every show have to have a show stealer, though?
Realistically, I think there should be at least one. Collision is going to be really good. I hope so. I hope so. I'm trying to get what I'm looking for Raw this week. No, I don't want January 13th. For fuck's sake. Unless Bleacher Report, did they do one? No, Bleacher Report haven't done it for this week. Great. Can't find what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the article. Surely the dumb one. I'm still laughing at the fact that Baron Corbin's new name is the Nomad Bishop Dyer.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That is the lamest name.
Did you see his reasoning for going with Nomad? Because he's just going to wander around all promotions, he said.
Yeah. The man's mental.
Oh, did you see that they announced Masha Slamovich for the GCW event at the end of the month?
Yeah. I saw that actually. I'm alright with that actually. That will be a good one. Fernando says Drew versus Seth was a show stealer, but I don't want no more between the two for a while. Their match was decent, but I don't think it was a show stealer. I'm trying to find their report from Raw. Where is it? There it is. Grading Monday's Night Raw. I always look to the grading, so let's see. Can I get the whole show? Okay, that's heavy bias. Nah, no way. I'm not even kidding. The Jey Uso segment got a B plus. Mysterio versus Kingston got a B plus. Sami Zayn got his promo and segment with Kevin Owens got an A. Nia Jax versus Bayley didn't get a single grade. Pete Dunne versus Penta got a grade A. CM Punk's promo got an A. Damage Control versus the Pure Lesbian Collection got a B. Rollins versus McIntyre got an A. And the show grade is a B plus. That's a lot to digest. But this is what they said about Raw. And then I'll get your closing statements before we go, and then after that we'll be wrapping up at 2 hours 30. Well, not quite up to the level of last week's show. This was another strong offering from the flagship show. Complete with the introduction of Sami Zayn into the main event storyline and potentially the WWE title picture. Yawn. The in-ring portions of the show were strong and the storyline developments were equally good. Uso and Gunther kicked off the show on the right foot for quality in-ring promo segment. And Rollins and McIntyre delivered the goods in a competitive main event. Add to that great stuff out of the women's division and CM Punk absolutely cooking Hulk Hogan, and you have a show that continued the trend of high-quality Netflix broadcasts. That's what they've said about Raw. Did you hear that Goldberg's supposed to be at Raw? Of course he's going to be there. Hopefully he gets carried out a stretcher. But that's what they said about Raw. What do you think?
It's their opinion.
I know.
That's all I can say about that. Oh yeah, Raw next week is from Atlanta, so yeah, Goldberg lives in Atlanta, so yeah, I expect him to show up.
Be so funny if Goldberg's there and then Hulk Hogan shows up.
Oh damn.
But yeah, both shows. Praises and positives and negatives for both shows, and then we'll get out of here. So, what are you thinking?
Positives from Raw. Start to drop kick off the top rope.
Agreed. She was actually the best woman. I think she was actually the best worker in that match, not Io Sky, even though Io Sky is brilliant, and I am a big Baszler fan as well.
Yeah.
I think Starks was the one that did the most impressive work.
Gunther spinning facts about Jey Uso.
Yes. Second it.
Negative. Sami Zayn crying in the ring as always. And probably the Punk promo. There was no reason for him to mention Hulk Hogan.
Agreed.
Positives from AEW. I get Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay as a tag team. Harley Cameron, just being Harley Cameron, is always a positive. A negative. Chris Jericho in the Learning Tree, but I see where they're planting seeds for a turn and probably going to let Big Bill go on his own.
Yes.
And that's probably the only negative I have. Oh, another positive, it's been like 3 or 4 weeks and no Orange Cassidy.
Yes. For me, positives from Raw, agreed, that drop kick. I think Karrion Kross's promo, to be honest, I'm going to give that as a positive. That was really well done.
But what are they going to do with him? Like,
I'm not sure.
Like he's in limbo. Like they don't know where to take him.
That's the only thing I'm not sure about.
Did you see Matthew's comment?
Yeah, I've seen it. No Brit for forever winning. Yeah, I just hope she doesn't go TNA.
No, she's going to WWE. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing about TNA, Meltzer's wrong. I said it on the Genesis review on
Oh,
Monday.
about WWE buying TNA?
Yeah.
I think they're laying the foundation for it because they got hit with some fines from the SEC where they can't buy other promotions for like 5 years, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But I think they're laying the foundation for it.
I'm absolutely confident. I'm actually steadfast confident. Anthem will not sell to TKO.
I don't think they'll have a choice.
Anthem will. Anthem play quality already for it. They won't do it.
Who has more money, TKO or Anthem?
See, TKO have got the money. But like I said on the Genesis thing, Anthem have already started investing heavy in their own thing. Regardless, they will not sell their biggest asset. WWE would have to spend an absolute fortune to do it.
And I could see them doing it just to try to shut down competition.
They can certainly try. I don't think it'll happen. Me personally, I don't think it'll happen.
I think it would be bad for the industry if it happens, but I do see it happening.
It would be awful. It would be awful if it eventually happens. I don't think it will, though. Like,
I hope you're right.
Especially because they would be tarnishing a legacy if they did. The disrespect would be beyond levels that you can't comprehend, especially if it's meant to be a partner. Because no one won't sell with them either. No one won't. They'll work with them now and again, but they won't sell them. I don't think it'll happen. I think you'll see them working heavy though. Maybe not the way I want them to, but they will. Positives, yeah, so the Stars drop kick, the cross promo, although I'm not sure where it goes. I think, to be fair, the main event was actually well done. McIntyre again stole the show.
Well, Drew and Seth have good in-ring chemistry. It's just I'm tired of seeing the same match.
Yeah, that's something I say, and also Penta. Although we need to look into that. Yeah, the Super Japan partnership does block it. Just watch though, you'll be surprised. Anthem have got one or few trick ups up their sleeve. That's all I'm gonna say on that about them. Negatives. Sami Zayn, another Hulk Hogan mention. Braun Breaker again being wasted. Jey Uso. Gunther deserves something better to do. And also that bloody weird name that Liv Morgan's got for Dominic Mysterio. That was super cringe. Oh, another positive. Rhea Ripley. She's just excellent. She's just excellent. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Obviously, there's been times where I did dip in and out, not on purpose. But Catherine was excellent. So give the props to Catherine. Tonight has been wicked. Check out the Mid podcast on YouTube. Check out Grabs TV. He's likely to be live tonight. I will see if I can tune in. If not, I'll probably be sleeping. But tomorrow, I will be live reviewing TNA, reviewing Ring of Honor, episode 100. And then Saturday, day off, because I'm going out. Yeah, you'll be live in an hour and 50 minutes because it's midnight my time. Saturday, I'm not going to review SmackDown. I'm going to do it Sunday when I get back. Because I'm out on Sunday as well, so I'll do it when I come back. I'm going to review Collision and SmackDown. I'm actually thinking I might do the two together so I can do other content in between. This week, obviously, I had no other choice. I had to do these two together. But I'm thinking SmackDown Collision can go together. Ring of Honor TNA can go together. Maybe I keep Dynamite and Collision separate. We'll see. But shouts out to Catherine. Exactly.
Thank you, Fernando.
But,
Can I give a shout out? If you want to hear one of the best rants ever on the IWC, check out Covalent TV from last night. At Covalent TV on YouTube, go check them out. Starks gave the best rant on Tree Liquor, or better known as Sean Ross Sapp, and Air Gold.
Yeah, it's down and removed. They must have took it down.
But that was one of the best.
I think I know why they would have taken it down. Because it goes against what they're trying to do. Truthfully, it goes against what they're trying to do. They're trying not to give that clout, that energy to those people, that engagement. They did do that by that rant. I did catch it before it was live. The thing about that video, and I put a tweet up about it, I'm actually going to bring it up right now to prove a point on what I think about the IWC. I'm actually going to bring up my tweet right now because you're not going to take my tweet down. That's for sure. Good seeing you, Fletch. We're going in a few minutes anyway, but I actually want to prove a point to something. I think they should have done it this way, personally. I will be back tomorrow for a double review, so don't worry. Sure, yeah, of course you can join if you want. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. For that reason, I did find it very interesting. I'm not sure if it would happen though, but I did find it awesome drop today. Catherine holding it down. Yeah, Catherine's awesome. And she'll be here tomorrow if she wants to be. Anyone's welcome on this channel.
Reece hung me out to dry.
Not really intentionally.
No, I'm just kidding. I know, not intentionally.
My headphones are a bastard.
There we go. All right. You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll explain it real quick. Yes, it was a super, super scorching moment. And
gotta be careful though.
No. You ain't gotta be careful of that bitch.
No, you what I mean, he needs to be careful because the worst thing about a rant, and this I should know full well because I'm bad for them. In the moment, if you go like way too much flow and you can't control it, I'm not saying he would. I'm not saying he would. But when you've got a passion for people that are absolute dickheads, then you could get taken back on slander.
Yeah,
no.
So
I'm not saying he would do that. I'm just saying he needs to be careful. But I think that's why he took it down, just in case they claimed it was slander.
No. That's not even why. And yes, I am doing a live watch along here in approximately an hour and 10 minutes for Ring of Honor. I appreciate that. What happened is we basically had an all-night summit, and yeah, he said I could answer somebody with that, so I guess I can. We had an all-night summit on that. Not we per se, he did, and yeah, because I was putting the clips out. I was the guy that did the clips, and I was getting hammered.
You gotta be careful.
I didn't care. I got a personal agenda on that one. The deal is this.
I already seen the 10-minute clip on it. I burst out laughing.
Yeah.
Not the finger one. I burst out laughing about the two Muppets going against each other. That's why I put my tweet up.
Yeah. No. I mean, the deal was this. There's a story out there floating about Britt Baker, and
That's what I'm
huh?
looking for. Thanks, Fletch. Keep talking, Matthew. I was
Yeah.
looking
Do
for
I?
this channel.
Okay.
Yeah,
You just you shut me up if I'm saying too much because I don't want to get your stream in trouble.
I don't care. Do
I don't
everything.
care about my stream. If any motherfucker wants to come after me on my stream, he can come. That's all I got to say. But you know the story with Britt. You know, we've all been exposed to the story with Britt. All right. So there is some interminglings between Britt and other media outlets. And so that whole thing with Air Gold was a setup from the beginning. And it's to discredit the Britt Baker story. Because if
Yeah, I
you can
know.
discredit that, you discredit the whole damn thing. And at least you can sweep it under the rug.
It's because it comes directly from the Discord servers as well, and
Well,
that's where
yeah.
that's where it's all getting out of control at the moment, because Discord has got some things in there that nobody should be seeing,
That's
or
correct.
you don't want them to be seeing.
Oh yeah. So what happened was Daryl had to rant last night, and I mean he unloaded like I think probably 10% of the clip, but he unloaded enough. He unloaded enough that Tree Sap reached out to him in DMs, and that started the communication line. And suffice it to say, at 5 a.m. this morning, I was awakened and told to take the clips down. That a truce had been brokered, and a truce had been put together. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, right now, I am no longer interested in Sean Ross Treesap, and I'm no longer. Yeah, I'm not interested in Air Gold. Air Gold done changed his name to something else. I mean, y'all remember, at least if I remember correctly, Sean Ross Sapp's rise to prominence had to do with him caping over somebody. So basically,
that and also on screen.
Yeah, I mean, part of that too. But let's allegedly, let's not get ourselves sued here, okay?
Yeah, sure. He's an asshole though.
Well, I mean, yeah, we all know that, but that's neither part and parcel to the whole thing. But
Well,
I
I'm
wanted to get
blocked
in
by
there.
everybody from Fightful, so I don't care.
Yeah, so I mean, it was like that, but then I got a call at like almost 5 in the morning to say, "All right, you take them clips down now. We got it settled." And the settlement is that A, he's going to leave me alone, and B, he going to stay on his side of the tracks, and everybody else is going to stay on their side of the tracks. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, part of that clip that was opened up had to do with inappropriate relations, so to speak.
Yes, there's accusations that Britt Baker cheated on Adam
No,
Cole.
not even Britt Baker. We're talking about Tree Sap himself. If you
him
listen
too,
to that,
yeah.
If you caught that rant, all the way across the street, I mean, that was part of it too. And it should be duly noted that somebody was totally awake for that entire conversation besides Tree Sap. So,
I mean,
it was definitely, but that's why you should, the main thing is you should try to catch them live, because that's the best way you're going to get this stuff, because you never know when he drops a clip. I'm sitting there clipping them and I'm putting it out there in the world, and that stuff was happening fluidly. And in the back end of it too, the other side of that thing too is one of my guys who does pack ups is also packing up Ibu right now. So we are literally cleaning up. We're literally cleaning up bad social media right now. It's happening. So I think at the end of the day, Ibu's in a little bit of trouble, allegedly.
There's some things about the thing is, see, the weird thing about social media, and this is what I really don't get. Maybe I'm just a catalyst for good things, right? This is what I don't understand. Everybody seems to get on well with me, right?
Yeah.
Which is terrifying. But then they're absolute dickheads everywhere else. And then when I get asked about it, I'm like, well, they don't do anything to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but you see, you do, and I do the same thing too, which kind of blows everybody's mind. We're all positive type people, you
I can
know.
be very negative if I want to
Oh, I
be.
can too. Yeah, I can too. But for the most part, like when I'm
Yeah.
watching WWE, which will happen probably in a couple of months again, I'm gonna start that back up.
Well, next week actually, because it's the Royal Rumble next week.
Yeah, I'll do the Royal Rumble PLE, but for regular weekly episodic television, no, thank you. No, I'm good. At least
Exactly.
for a while. I'm good for at least a while. But I mean, when you try to be positive, you're not stirring the pot, you know. You're just sitting here talking about wrestling. Ain't nobody gonna, I mean, yeah, everybody gets along with that.
Exactly,
You
and
know?
I've got no interest in talking about anyone's personal shit.
Yeah,
This
I
is
don't
what
have yeah,
this
but
is what happened. This is what I put up the other day. If anyone can see that, if not, I'll zoom in. And this was
yeah.
after this video went up, and I burst out laughing. Right, I can't put the video up, guys, because I will get fucking hit like a ton of bricks if I
Yep.
if I share the video. But I basically put this on screen, guys. 2-part tweet. So you've got a Twitter fight, because I don't call it by its new name. You've got a Twitter fight between two accounts going on right now, and it's genuinely laughable within the pro wrestling side of this app. Yes, I'm not doing this for engagement or clicks or nothing. I'm just putting up a genuine statement here.
Yeah.
Yes, it's funny because they're arguing over grifting, citing sources, and credibility when no one genuinely cares.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of it, but the big thing is it was a setup.
Yeah,
The whole thing was a setup to get him that cape going again. See, now he's cape for Britt Baker.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, their sales are down. Everything's down. Everything's down across the board, by the way. It ain't just Fightful, it's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got to get a little bit more edgier to get those clicks. They got to get a little bit more into it to do this. But then Voice, who's a buddy of mine too, when he saw what,
he's all right.
Yeah, Voice of the Marks. Yeah, he's a buddy of mine, and he saw what was happening. And shout out to Voice of the Marks, by the way, because he went right into action when I started dropping those videos last night, and I started getting hammered, and I was getting hammered.
Yeah,
he went around and did a back end offensive and was just like, "Hey, AEW talent, you know that Ibu guy that you talked to?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that he charges people $5 to tell all your secrets to him?"
Oh, you've got no idea what he does.
Oh, I know. But
that's why people have issues with. Even though I think they're a decent podcast, I dip in now and again. But this is the issue that people has with wrestle purists.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are a good podcast, but people have an issue with some of them because of Ibu's behavior.
Yeah,
and it's a shame because that I met two of them when I was at Money in the Bank.
Right.
2023. I was at Money in the Bank where
Mm-hmm.
I picked that up conveniently.
See that.
That's where I bought that title, was at Money in the Bank. Or I could have had the IC title, but that was 50 quid more. That was 350 quid.
Damn.
I know, very expensive. I met Monte, who pretty much runs the channel, and then I met Joe Hilbert, who I think is actually a decent bloke. But I think that Charlie is incredible. Like, her writing is absolutely impeccable stuff, and her writing for Daniels was incredible. No wonder Christopher Daniels shared it. Like, it's really well done. I like doing wrestling. I like doing writing about wrestling anyway, but her level of writing is phenomenal. I need to get back into it. But it's free of them. It's free of them. I'm not so sure on Ale. Again, I'm not so sure on him, but he doesn't give me any issues. I think he's more like, his tweets can come off a little bit obscure, where it might not be as helpful, and it doesn't help. But I do agree. I don't think I've never had much of an issue with Ibu. I don't really have that issue with him.
I didn't have one either until his minions came after me.
I think he can have that issue though, where he will say something as a gospel and it comes back in the worst manner.
Yeah,
And
but see, that was the whole setup. That's the beautiful part of it. That was the whole setup. They left that
Mhm.
Hangman story sitting there in the Discord, right?
yeah,
And so Air grabs it and goes, "Damn, if ain't nobody else gonna do it, I'm gonna do it."
but we
And
know
he
that he
throws
went and
that
does it.
thing. Yeah, I mean, he throws that thing out there. But the whole thing of it is, do you do IT work? What does anybody else do IT work besides me?
No, I work in finance.
Okay, well, ask your security guy sometime about this. It's called a honeypot.
Oh, no need.
Yeah.
No need. I'm already familiar. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what a honeypot is, right?
Yeah.
So they threw a whole bunch of shit over there in a honeypot, and then Air Gold was just the guy that took the bait. That's all it was. That's
It
the
was
whole setup.
it's like it's honey trapping in a way as well, in a different context. But it's honey potting because it's more or less of you're dropping the bait, you're hoping that
Yeah,
the bear gets its honey.
exactly. So I mean, they dropped a honeypot and they dropped that story right smack dab in the middle of it, and of course, Air Gold ran with it because he's been going crazy trying to get clicks, and of course, you know, he had that, and he did have that DM stuff in the back end talking about, guys, let's get together. We can fleece X, you know. We can
Mhm.
fleece Twitter if we do it like this. We start working off each other's posts. We'll bank out. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
you
think
know,
somebody screenshot that and put it come across my Twitter feed.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
it was
that's not the only
screenshotted. That was also voice.
that
Voice
wasn't
is
the
the
only
one that
scoop.
outed it.
I burst out laughing when I saw the tweet because obviously eventually before they got to the space, which I thought the clip was funny. The clip that 10-minute clip literally was you titled this Air Gold versus SRS just so you can get the engagement. And I'm
Right.
like, and I burst out laughing because I'm like, Air Gold's already getting the engagement anyway.
Exactly. I mean,
without your name. The guy
yeah,
gets so many likes, comments, retweets, all that, quote tweets on his post because he is engagement farming, but he knows how to engagement farm properly. That's how he gets the attention. It's annoying. Like
yeah.
I don't like it, but it's what he does. And I just thought it was hilarious when he went to SRS on this clip. You realize on my account it does say parody,
Mhm.
and he couldn't hack it. After that, he could not hack it. I burst out laughing.
Yeah, no, I mean, he wouldn't say he ain't geared to do this kind of stuff.
No,
I mean, I can do hit jobs if I want to. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting dirt if I could drop dirt if I wanted to. But I'm not going to because these people trust me with what they say, you know. And basically it's for like if you see some dork ass story out there, you're like, no, that ain't the way it's happening. This is closer to the truth. It's not that I'm actually giving out anything that I know, it's me correcting idiots, you know. And most of my corrections come true. You know,
Yeah.
some people, some things, I think like 2-3 things they pivoted on.
Yeah.
But, you know, now this whole thing with Ibu being under attack on top of that, you know, I thought that was hilarious. But no, the main reason that you won't be able to find any of that rant is because I know my clips are down. Now, if you go to Facebook, if you go to their Facebook page, I think he spent time and pieced it all together there and uploaded it. There's a
Probably.
possibility it's still there, but to
Until
my
Fightful see
knowledge,
it.
yeah, but to my knowledge, it is not on YouTube or Twitter or any of that now. And I took all my clips down, and I actually recorded me deleting all of them too, so everybody knew they were gone. Yeah,
I
so
think the record was right to do so. The funny thing is I agree with the action. Like by all means, I agree with the reaction on the two of them because it highlights a major problem with the IWC right now. Everybody is being, to a main extent, disingenuous. They're not acting like themselves, and they're doing it for engagement, clicks, or just to completely derail someone else. Me in particular, I don't care how many people watch my shows. I say every single show. I don't care if there's 3, 3,000 or God forbid 300k.
Yeah.
I've never been about that. I'm about whoever's in here. If it's like 7 people to 15 people watching, it's the same people every single week, engaging by the comments, and I'm responding back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough. I think if you look at every single person, if I asked you right now, if you look at every single content creator, name a content creator that interacts with a crowd more than I do.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there's, me personally, I don't think there's anybody who interacts with the live chat like I do. I'm constant with the chat.
Yeah, I hadn't figured out how to display it yet. I'm working on that. I like that
What are
idea.
you streaming it from?
Streamlabs.
Okay, 2 seconds. I've got Streamlabs right here. I've got Streamlabs, I've got OBS, a lot. Let me just check something. I'll just load mine up.
Yeah, because that's something I'm working on. I just got the interview set up and everything, so I don't do janky ass interviews anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that was the catalyst. There was a catalyst to all of this, and somebody who you may or may not know may or may not have dropped some information off in the right places.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just did it again today. Y'all about to hear another rant. And I ain't gonna mess it up because it's funny as hell. And when you hear it, you're gonna laugh your ass off. There's gonna be another rant coming. I can tell you that right now. I dropped something today. It blew my mind.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Tell you what I'll do, because I do have my Streamlabs, but a friend of mine uses his Streamlabs a lot more than I do.
Right.
After this show, I'll ask him how he brings up comments from Streamlabs.
Yeah.
And then I'll link you, and then I'll let you know.
Yeah, because that would be cool. I'd love to do that in my show. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I can do the crawl that you got going on down here at the bottom. I just don't do it. But as far as getting the comments up like you do, yeah, I'd like to do that. I really would. I think it'd be helpful. I think it would probably draw more viewers too, especially when you're doing the watch along. Plus, gives me an opportunity to actually highlight what people say.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been using StreamYard for a long time, but I want to flip the switch and use Streamlabs more often.
No, you don't. Get a counselor if you do. Get a psychological counselor if you do.
I've used it once for gaming. I want to start using it for a variety of things. I want to start posting when I'm streaming. I actually want to try and bring videos, because there's channels that does use videos,
right,
for like reviewing purposes. But they have they've got like a big massive filter they put over it, so they don't get hit with copyright.
Yeah.
And I want to review, and that's what I want to do. I want to review people's content without the actual destruction on my side.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying that Streamlabs is its own little problem child. Sometimes it works right. I have days and weeks where everything works fine. Then I'll hit 2 or 3 shows where it looks like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's just the way it is. And that's what I hate about Streamlabs, because it grows a mind of its own and goes, oh, you wanted to do that today. Nah, we good. You wanted sound? No, fuck that. You're not getting that. Not today. You had it for a week. Just randomly, we're just telling you you're not going to have it. You know, it's crazy like that. And if you don't have all your stuff in sync at the exact same time, reboot the computer, try it again. You know?
Yeah.
So,
once I get away from StreamYard, I'll be happy, because they are constantly raising their prices. Once I get away from StreamYard, I'll be happy. And do something else, because I want to find something better than that. But I still want to maintain the content. But that's the aim anyway. So
I give you a little crazy one on that one right there. Just go with the OBS. Go with the OBS, and don't go with Streamlabs. Learn OBS better, because it's free. What makes you mad is you wind up paying for Streamlabs and half the shit don't work.
The Ultra stuff is so expensive.
Yeah. That's what I got, like $20 a month or something like that I use. I got their top end one. You know, so I got access to everything I want and all that, and it does some stuff pretty good, but most everything you see on that show, the way I do everything, I do it by design in like Adobe or something like that. Like I design all my screen drops. I design all my posters in
Same.
Adobe and stuff like that. But I mean, when you go to put the stuff into Streamlabs, you got to have it just set and just exactly right if you use their stuff. So I said, screw it. I'll just make my own stuff, and everything you see on the show that I do is handmade, every bit of it, with structure and everything. I don't depend on Streamlabs little bells and whistles. The only thing I depend on them to do is to connect me. And I give them $20 a month to make sure I don't miss a connection. That's fine. I'm good with that.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, the performance side of it is just something else to be unadmired. That's all I got to say. But yeah. Yeah, we're going to definitely be doing a show now that my internet works. That's the other reason I was able to come on here is because, see, I couldn't come on yesterday because my internet worked when it felt like it. Then it popped up long enough for me to do the stream last night. And then I woke up this morning, no internet again. And hang on a second there. And yeah, of course, the phone rings immediately. So, but anyway, let me jump off here so I can call him back, because that's going to be important.
Oh, we're going to be dipping off as well, but I'll be back tomorrow if you're up for doing a double review. If you get a chance, I'm doing a double review tomorrow.
Yeah, let me see how I'm doing on that. Let me see where I'm at. It's Friday. What about the same time you starting?
More or less, I'll be finishing earlier for work. I'll be finishing earlier from work, so 4 p.m. UK time. I'll be finishing then. So that's what I think. That's 11 o'clock from you. So fast forward 4 hours. Probably so like 7 or 8 p.m. UK time. I'll probably go live.
Yeah, because I don't
2 or 3.
Yeah, because I'm not doing a stream tomorrow night because that's a SmackDown shit. I'm not doing that.
I'm not even reviewing SmackDown on Saturday anymore. I'm going to do that in Collision on Sunday. Yeah, I'm going to do them both together.
Yeah, and if you want me to jump in on that one, I can jump in on, as long as I get out of here by 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm good.
Yeah. Is Saturday's main event this weekend or next weekend?
This weekend.
This weekend, and the pay-per-view is next week. So, yeah.
I knew that was next week. It looks like it'll be a triple review then.
Yeah.
I'll just review all 3 then. Big blockbuster. Fuck that. That's my week. That's my Sunday plan then.
Well, there you go. Your first 2 shows, bullshit. Next show, actual wrestling. Yeah, it should be a pretty quick review. I can review the first 2 shows before they even play. Okay, honest to God, this is how bad WWE is right now. SmackDown's going to open up with a 30-minute segment. Then they're probably going to have the Bloodline running around like a bunch of damn idiots. They're going to have a couple of matches that make absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. They're going to totally forget that they've got a U.S. champion that's a woman. And they're going to probably mostly forget that Shinsuke Nakamura still got the title. And they'll probably have LA Knight running around like a speed demon idiot trying to get it back. And that's going to be a majority of your show. I just reviewed SmackDown for you, and the show ain't even played yet.
That's what I'm expecting. Genuinely,
tell me what I'm telling lies. Tell me what I'm telling lies. All right?
Oh, you're not. I genuinely think it'll be like that. Triple review sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, you start off with it. That's exactly how it's going to play out. Now, I think Collision is going to be a hodgepodge of goof, because
Collision, I'm 50-50 on will Collision be good or not. I'm 50-50.
Yeah. If they keep that same energy they have with Dynamite, they'll be just fine. The problem is I don't know where the talent's going to come from, and I'm kind of curious as to how this Ring of Honor show is supposed to play out.
I've already debunked it. They've got the wrong match.
No, I'm not even worried about that. The question is, did they have the match? That's the question. Because we don't even know if dude showed up last night.
I hope QT Marshall got denied entry at the building.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if QT and them showed up last night to do the match on the intro side of it, because that would have been the intro side. They would have been like the dark match for Dynamite last night, and half the talent didn't make it. I wonder if we're even getting that match.
If it's your 100th episode, they have to make it something. Otherwise, you've wasted people's time.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, with the weather and all that crap, I believe they'll have some matches. That's why they got up there in action. They're not telling you who they're fighting.
I know.
Everything was just in action. You're like, okay, so basically it's whatever jobber shows up, or if the talent actually made it. We don't even know if the talent made it yet, and that hasn't been disclosed. So I don't know what we're getting today, and that's why I just put up a basic poster for it. because I don't have any idea what we're getting. I don't have a clue. So we'll see how it plays out, but I'll be there in 45 minutes. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I'm going to be watching your stream, and I'm going to be checking out the channel that Fletch has recommended as well.
Yep.
Because he's saying just for linking in. So Wrestle Tatty, I've actually subscribed to her channel, so I'll watch both of these at the same time. I won't watch hers a lot, but I'll definitely watch and see what it's like. And then more people linking in the channel, more fun, more enjoyment. Okay, that's how I do. That's how I do things. A new voice. It's always good to interact with new people, but it's also good to interact with the current, because that's how I do things. So, ladies and gentlemen, mid podcast, Graps TV, Covey on TV, but then obviously the master show of the weekly Steelchair.
Absolutely. The Master at Arms, the MC himself, the Scottish Warrior.
Oh, pure psycho.
Say his name and he will appear. Reece
The
Russell.
actual Scottish psychopath.
Did someone say my name?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in
Reece Russell.
I believe in
Reece Russell.
We all do.
Yes, we all do.
In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Weekly Steelchair is getting out of here because he's fucking tired.
Absolutely. All right.
And Road Dog's being buried. In the meantime,
exactly. All
goodbye, my friends. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.